From Darling Stadium, Friday, October 31st, 2014, it's Friday Night Football on LSC, your local sports station. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Brett Musgrove, Frank Edgar, and on-field analyst Bob Hintz, bringing you tonight's game against Kecoughtan High School and Phoebus High School, the two top dogs in this area. I would say district, but we don't say district anymore, do we?
I'm going to claim district again this year. Peninsula District's been a great football district this fall. They played well, and we've been waiting for this game for several weeks.
Yes,
this has been the promised game that what essentially is a championship feel here, certainly a championship of the city of Hampton. And we watched a good one last night. The other two teams from Hampton put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, they did.
I think Kecoughtan and Phoebus will give us a great show tonight.
Well, they should. We've got two teams that go at it differently. Kecoughtan relies a lot on the pass, and, of course, Phoebus has always relied on the run, and that's what I expect to see tonight, and I expect to see a really good game.
Well, we're going to see the great running back, Jamari Becknell, another in the long line of great running backs from Phoebus High School. The last time we saw him, he was all over the place. He picked up over 200 yards, just a wonderful running back. And he's got two great fullbacks out in front of him, Jalen Holloway and the young man Peyton Ryder. Those two have been sharing the fullback job and doing a great job all year, and Becknell really benefits from that. On the other side, Desmond Savage has been outstanding for Kecoughtan this year, up close to 1,652 yards in the air, many touchdowns. He leads in those categories in the Peninsula District, and he's taken the Warriors to this point where they really can make a showing in the playoffs this year.
They really could, and Desmond Savage has some great targets. He's got Keith Grandy, he's got Chris Burwell, he's got Nick Carrera. Nick Carrera and the hands and the ability of him, and we talked about that last night in the Hampton game, of another player, runs good routes but has great hands.
Well, Carrera, of course, started as a quarterback. Remember back when he was a freshman,
yes.
they put him at quarterback. Now he's on the other end of the passing and doing a great job. He's been a terrific tight end for the Warriors for a couple of years, and probably one of the best receivers in the district. A guy that can really carry a team because he gets a lot of yards after his catches. As you mentioned, great hands. So Savage has that good target. And Keith Grandy, who's about half the size of Carrera, but is all over the field and leads them in receptions, number of receptions and yards. He's wonderful, number 2 receiver in the Peninsula District.
It like I said, folks, it should be a great game tonight if you like offense. But if you like defense, be prepared for that too. We've got two really good defensive teams. I started to say really super good, but I compare them to past defensive teams. They're almost as good. Defense on Phoebus has really been stepping up lately.
Well, it has been, and we just had a good picture there of Harry Lewis, the veteran lineman.
Wow.
For the Phoebus Phantoms, the soon-to-be Virginia Tech Hokie, and a great product for the Hokies, despite the fact that I wish he would go to the other university in Virginia.
Yes,
he is an outstanding young man and a terrific football player. I was just mentioning to one of our cameramen, Wube Gabray, about these seniors for Phoebus are the last group that has won a state title. So these guys would like to finish strong like they started their careers at Phoebus High School. And I know Harry Lewis and all his teammates, Breon Baskerville's another one you'll see a lot of tonight. They want to finish strong. So this should be, they're going to give it their all tonight. They got beat last week in the last few seconds of the game by Heritage. And I know they want to show they are not going to give up another game going down into the playoffs.
And I agree with you completely. But there's going to be one little glitch in that defensive machine tonight, and that to me is one of the best defensive players in the area, and that's Robbie Robinson.
Well, they're missing Robbie. We saw Robbie get hurt several weeks ago, sat out the last quarter of a game. Tonight he's got a boot on his foot. He's going to be out tonight. Now, the good thing for the Peninsula District teams is that they do not play a game next week. They are finished with the regular season, so they have 2 weeks to get healthy. So Coach Jeremy Blunt's got Robbie on the sidelines, and it's a good idea. If he can try to get by tonight without him, he's one of the fastest human beings in the league this year. If they can survive tonight, then it gives him 2 weeks, actually a total of 3 weeks off, and that will better prepare him for the playoffs.
By chance, did you hear what it was that did he sprain something, pull something?
Didn't get that information, and I know they're a little tight-lipped down there about Robbie.
Well, at this time of the year, like you were saying, they don't want to say a whole lot about that. They're preparing for the playoffs because both these teams know they're going to be in the playoffs, and they want to be ready for that.
Well, you're looking there at Phoebus getting ready, and I was mentioning the senior Breon Baskerville, number 12, carrying the ball in there as they go in through their warm-ups. I do know, without talking to any of the Phantoms, they want to finish strong tonight, and this is a good matchup for them. Kecoughtan has played really well this year. They're putting a lot of points up, and I expect them to do the same thing here. Phoebus's defense has got to show tonight they can stop big offenses.
Yeah, well, that's what we look forward to every year, is a good defensive team, a good defensive game, I should say, from the Phoebus Phantoms. So hopefully we'll get that tonight. Right now, let's go down to Brent Musgrove on the field, where he's got the coach from Kecoughtan High School, Coach Coley.
Thanks again, fellas. Of course, I'm here with head coach Alonzo Coley, Kecoughtan Warriors. Third year, what a great building of a program, Coach. Really impressive. You come in here, 7-2 and 6-2 in the district, guaranteed in the playoffs. Kecoughtan's been looking for this kind of response for a long time. Congratulations. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions. Last week, you had a couple of players that sat out a game. Everybody's back now. How did the kids respond in practice this week?
It was very good. I want to thank you for all those things, nice things said about us on our program. It's been pretty good. I mean, the kids came back. We responded well last week, missing some guys, but the kids really responded well, and some guys stepped up that hadn't before. So it was kind of a good thing for us in a way.
Yeah, Carrera got a chance to go back under center a little bit, and that kind of helped in case of a mistake or somebody gets hurt. It's good for the program.
Oh, man, he's a real talented kid, and he enjoyed being back there for a little while. But he knows, hey, man, the guy throwing the ball is one that's very special.
Well, I hope he gets a chance to take it to the next level. We talked about Carrera before. Let's talk about a couple of your players, some I haven't talked about before. First, let me talk about a senior by the name of Victor Mitchell. This young man really impressed me when y'all played Hampton, and I really didn't get to see him until the end. But this young man is putting up some serious yards, but he hits so hard and he's cut so quick. Talk a little bit about him for us.
Well, he's very surprising when you see him because he's very put together, but he's very small. He's a short kid, and he worked really hard, put on about 20 pounds in the offseason, a good hard weight, works very hard, got real strong, and he's done a great job for us running the ball.
Well, when you say short, he's about 5'6", is that right?
Little dude. Yeah,
all right, let's talk secondly about Tajuan Taylor. Say that for me correctly.
Correct. We call him TJ, but Tajuan Taylor has done a great job for us, a middle linebacker, 2-year starter. Man, that kid plays so hard, so intense. I got to almost dial him down a couple times, but he's a real nice kid.
Let me ask you another quick question. And looking at Phoebus tonight, they do a lot of things on the ground and make some long plays. Has that been something y'all have keyed on this week?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have some great athletes. Elijah out there on the wide receiver, and Robbie Robinson. He has to, they have some good athletes. We got to make sure that we defend those guys well, make them, go with the 5 and 6 yard gains, and make them go the whole field that way.
Well, one last question. Wright, the quarterback, has kind of stepped out the last couple of games and been able to pick up the slack. Last question: have y'all done any adjusting for him to prepare for that?
Not really adjusting, but I mean he's a good player. He's.
All right. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it very much. All right, guys. Kecoughtan High School. Coach Coley. He came from Phoebus. He has really, really helped in turning this program around tremendously, and he's got some great talent over there as well.
Well, he's brought the spirit of winning to Kecoughtan again. Kecoughtan's had a good history in football, but with Coley, you get the Phoebus tradition of winning over the past decade. Yes. You get him, and he's found players and been able to keep players there that want to win, and that's been the big difference over the last couple of years. And you see guys like Nick Carrera and Keith Grandy and Desmond Savage staying at Kecoughtan and making them into this winning program. So all the success the success is clearly his to claim. He's got some great running backs. We talked about Jason Fugate, much bigger back than you expect, and a very quick back. He's athletic. We saw him. We've seen him make only one mistake, and that was a leaping attempt to get a first down where he fumbled the ball in a game, I believe, against Hampton.
Yes.
But the guy is strong, quick, makes great cutbacks, good running back. And then Victor Mitchell, he talked a little bit about Victor Mitchell, strong running back, not as tall, those two guys will probably get about the equal number of carries tonight.
And I think it's Fugate that they go to when they're down in the red zone and they're ready for that touchdown. They give him the ball, and he's powering in to go. Like I said, that one mistake where he tried to get in when he jumped and lost the ball. But other than that, kid's a good young power back. Two running backs, but back there is a young kid that I've been really impressed with all year long. Their quarterback, Desmond Savage.
Savage has been outstanding, kind of a really a new face on the scene. He's been around,
Yes.
but to see him step up and do what he's done, 1,652 yards through the air, outstanding performance this year, and he's made good receivers out of some of these young men. Keith Grandy, you wouldn't expect, if you see him walk on the field, you wouldn't expect him to be as talented as a receiver he is, but the kid makes great cuts, and the ball is always there. He's got great confidence in Savage. I think we'll see that tonight if those two hook up a couple times.
And you made a good point there. He makes good receivers because he has good vision on the field, and he picks up his secondary receivers quickly, and he makes good, sharp throws that allow them to catch the ball with a little less stress, I think. And it's panned out for them real well so far this year.
Well, they mentioned also that Chase Thomas, the kicker, is out again tonight.
Yes.
That is a big loss for Kecoughtan. It's a loss for any high school program. Face it, if you have one good kicker and you can go with
changer.
one good kicker, that's a big deal. And Chase Thomas, the golfer, Chase Thomas, I believe he also swims and plays soccer. He's been a terrific find for Coach Coley. I'm real happy that they were able to get out there and play football. Not that just because he lives on my street, but he's a fine young man, and he's had a great career over there at Kecoughtan, and one of those kickers that's been able to help team and will help them a great deal in the playoffs.
Yes, he will. And tonight, number 3, Tyler Christ, will be taking the place of Chase Thomas. Tyler Christ, usually the halfback in the backfield there that spells Mitchell and Fugate every now and then. But he'll be taking over the kicking duties for Kecoughtan.
No pressure, as they say. No pressure.
Not at all. But I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to come in cold here in the last game of the year and have to be the kicker, and especially you may be in a situation where the game's on the line. But yeah, Tyler Chris is a good kid, and I know he'll come right up to the challenge with no problem at all. You're looking at the band for Phoebus High School out there right now, and we're getting ready to go down to the field where we will cover the national anthem here at Darling Stadium, October 31st, 2014.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem by the Phoebus Phantom Marching High School Band here at Darling Stadium, Friday night, October 31st. It's Halloween.
And also senior night for Phoebus.
That's
and
correct.
They acknowledge the football players and cheerleaders for the game, but I know many members of that band and the flag twirlers and the rest of the young ladies out there are seniors as well. So congratulations to them, because I know just by being around high schools that they work and practice just as hard as the football team does all fall long. They too start in August and get up there and work. So congratulations to all the seniors both at Phoebus and at Kecoughtan who help bring us these games.
And I hope you do realize how hard they work, because I have been out there and seen bands playing and playing and practicing and practicing and practicing, and I'll tell you what, you hit it on the head. They practice as much as any sports team we have, and sometimes even more so. And I just like good bands. I really like them a lot. It's really kind of cool.
Well, you want to move over to Phoebus now. Let's go down Woodland Road and talk a little bit about the Phantoms tonight.
Woodland Road and take a left.
That's right. Go up Ireland Street. There you find the new high school in the city of Hampton, Phoebus High School, and what a football history they've had. Yeah,
new high school.
And that's it's quite a group out there. Great group of teachers and faculty and staff, administration, and again, the football is just one aspect of Phoebus High School. But what an aspect it's been. Some of these young men, like I said, the seniors won a state titles as freshmen, have come back, and now looking for another one this year before they leave. They have a great young coach, Jeremy Blunt. We heard him talk, or we hope to hear him talk a little bit later tonight. And we've heard him talk in other ball games. He really has a spirit of Phoebus, and he's been able to combine. He's done what a lot of these coaches have done, which is really focus on all aspects: the community appearance of his players, the community aspect, the academic aspect, and the athletic aspect. And you're going to see the athletic display tonight. He's found this quarterback, Justin Wright, who again, not a face that was really well known before this season, but when you come in and you're handed the keys to the car at Phoebus High School, you've got a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
He's responded. He doesn't throw the ball a lot, but 51 for 84 this year. So think about that: 10 touchdowns, 758 yards. Which, if you extrapolate that and compare to Savage, just about the same amount of percentage of completions. And, a few less touchdowns, but when you have Jamari Becknell running the ball over the field, you don't really need to throw that much.
Let me give you another name, Taj Boyd. Did you see a lot of passing out of him while he was here?
I did in the bowl game last year.
When he was in Clemson, yeah, but he didn't throw a whole lot because he had two great running backs, and all he had to do was hand the ball off, and Phoebus was basically a 98% running team, but he could throw the ball.
Yeah, he sure could. Maybe Bob can shed a little light on the Phoebus Phantoms. Yeah. Bob?
Yeah, guys, just want to tell you a little bit about the Phoebus Phantoms tonight. This team has really come a long way. Coach Jeremy Blunt has had these guys, the seniors, for 4 years. They bought into his program. Of course, he played with the Bill D in the first championship game they had. He's got a lot of coaches on his staff that have played ball at Phoebus and have played ball other places. Robbie Robinson's dad is one of the assistants, and he played over Bethel for Kaz. The coach talked a lot about his JV program, his coaches, their desire to help these young men get better, not only on the football field, but in the classroom and outside of school themselves. This is one of the keys that they try to work on. Jeremy Blunt is a young man with a lot of focus and really wants his team to improve. That interview that I had with him was just fantastic. He was able to talk about how well these young men have improved each week. He says not only each week, each day, each minute, he says they're getting better. We're going to send it back up to Brent as soon as we get a chance. Let's go back up to Brent.
All right, thanks, Bob. I had a chance, of course, to go over to Kecoughtan this week and talk to the coach over there. And as was stressed earlier by these guys, their biggest concern, of course, was losing Chase Thomas. Young man was right at 40 points for the season with extra points and field goals. It's going to be hard to replace, but they're going to do the best they can. Their main concern, what Coach was talking about when I went over Wednesday, was, in all honesty, what happened with Heritage, and that was the way they were able to cut off the pass and stop the pass, and they realized that they needed to work on that a little bit and maybe develop a couple of more receivers and get them into the play, change some routes. And so I'm personally keeping that to myself, or was going to, but now that the game's here, I'll let it go. I think they may have worked on some different routes and maybe given Phoebus something to think about before the first quarter is over. Other than that, everybody's healthy, and they were looking forward to this game, and they're so tickled to be able to go into the playoffs this year. And it's like Frank and Paul said, it's been a long way back for Kecoughtan to get into the position where they are now, and it's a fine feeling for Kecoughtan High School. I'm real proud of them. But thanks for the opportunity. Okay, guys, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks. And we mentioned every night our sponsor this year, the Grey Goose. And Paul,
whoa,
we had some delicious fried chicken tonight, Paul. And so we have Phil and Dana Epstein down there at the Grey Goose. Check them out. They're down there, 101 West Queens Way. If you go on the other side, it's Old Hampton Lane, right next to the Hampton History Museum. They're open 11 to 3 daily, and they have a special coming up at Christmas time. They have several specials, and keep an eye on them on Facebook is where you to keep up with Dana, and she posts all events. But she's got one called the Merry Christmas Darling Southern Harmony Spectacular, featuring the Southern Bells, and it's a 3-course meal and a show while you eat. And I've gone to one of these before. They have concerts down there. They have comedy nights. It's a really special place. Get a good meal and watch some good comedy and good fun, and in this case, some good singing down there at the holiday time.
Now, you were saying you get a dinner and you get entertainment.
Oh, yeah. The old dinner
Any
show.
idea how much this is?
$35 a ticket and well worth it. Trust me, you'll spend that at Outback and not get half the singing. So
tell me what,
this is
$35 you'll spend that at McDonald's.
That's
nowadays.
about right. So check it out. The Grey Goose in downtown Hampton, fine place to eat, and great desserts. We could spend a whole half talking about Phil Epstein and his pies and
his cookies.
Yeah, we didn't have any of those last night, did we?
Oh yeah, what was that cookie that you had?
It was a gingerbreadish. Yes, just slightly like a gingerbread, just a British. Yes.
And I had the chocolate chippiness. It was. Oh, I tell you what, folks. I personally want to thank them for sponsoring us this year, and the food is just simply delicious, guys. I really thank you very much.
And tell them Paul and Frank sent you, because I know Dana would enjoy seeing the fans that go down there. And
I'm going to get Pam down there.
Yeah, you really need. Christmas time is the place to go. That's really the place to go. Look for they have some special breakfasts as well on Saturday mornings. That's real nice. So if you've got small children, sometimes they do breakfast with Santa, and it's a really nice morning. So the Grey Goose, thank you very much this year.
All right, and thank you. And thank you, Mr. Edgar. And I realize Brent's now back up here in the booth, as you saw a little while ago, and we're going to get him back in the hot seat again tonight, as he's going to come over here and take his turn at broadcasting tonight. And Mr. Edgar, my partner, is going to go back, and he's going to do the stats over here. He'll be on my left tonight instead of my right. And there was an argument between the two earlier today. Brent said he was going to, make things nicer, and Frank said it was not going to be as pretty.
I like his hat. I think he ought to be wearing that hat all the time.
My apologies. Down on the field there, we had the coin toss.
Phoebus is going to receive. Okay. We'll see how they get young Mr. Bucknell out of the stirrups right here tonight, won't we?
Boy, they ought to get him out real quick. I always like Phoebus because you know that they're going to run in the beginning.
Doing some of the background work this week, I noticed that, and you may have heard me say it earlier, that when we'll get into the officials here, if it gets those up, go ahead.
All right, the officials tonight: the referee Bill Dozier, the umpire George Adamowski, the lineman Mick Hartzheim, the line judge Mike Mann, the side judge John Deck, the field judge David Gear, and the back judge Mike Mitchell. Those are our officials for tonight's game. Phoebus and Kecoughtan.
Got a good crew. But what we were talking about, if you go back and remember when we saw Phoebus play Bethel.
Okay.
They had 185-yard run for one of those touchdowns.
Yes.
When Phoebus played Hampton, they had 2 runs, one of 62 and one of 40. And all 3 of those were pretty much up the middle. Just broke a play and went for touchdowns. Bucknell.
That's all they have to do. Phoebus has always had, and we've talked about this many times, a great offensive line. For years, they've had a great offensive line, and they'll run off tackle, and they'll open that lane. In fact, for a couple of years, they had what we called Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside, and they would just take it right up the middle, and boom, they're gone.
If you look back at what they lost last year, I mean, my gosh, they had some experience, and here they are back replacing it again.
They reload quick.
Reload quick.
Trust me.
The big key to them for me so far this year has been Mr. Wright stepping in at quarterback and really developing. I mean, he's made Bucknell better just because you've got to watch what Wright's doing.
Yes.
If you
don't, you get in trouble.
You get in trouble. He doesn't run but 4 or 5 times a game, but they've been key sometimes.
Tyler Christ with the kickoff here for Thomas, and it looks like he is going to kick it out of bounds.
Well, we watched this last night, too.
Yeah, so we're going to have another one like this.
Everybody's trying to kick it out at the 40. I don't know if it's a new strategy I haven't picked up on yet. We've
got to find out. Bob, you're going to have to do some research on why they're kicking the ball. They've done it for the last few games. Everybody seems to be kicking the ball out of bounds. Nobody wants to return.
That's it.
I'll tell you something, Cat.
Can you hear us, Bob?
Can you hear me up
Yeah,
there?
go ahead.
He just hooked it. Boy, you know how I hit the ball sometimes, he hooked it. That's what he did.
I've seen your 5-iron, Bob. Yes, I have.
He hooked up, baby.
All right, 1st and 10 for Phoebus, and here we go.
Man. Justin Wright hands it off to guess who?
Mr. Bucknell, and Kecoughtan was waiting on the left side of their defensive line.
Yeah, that was a no surprise there, wasn't it? Here's the offense for Phoebus High School. You got Harry Lewis there, number 70. He's the big guard you want to look for, along with Tyquan Johnson. Watch those backers. Oh, excuse me, this offense. I'm sorry. Offense. Look out for Justin Wright and Jamari Becknell. And Holloway, he's going to lead the way. And you want to pass, keep your eye on number 8, Addison. Becknell again with the ball around the left side. He'll get out to about midfield.
Picked up about 4 yards. It's going to make it 3rd down and 5.
On
Paul.
defense for the Warriors, the tackles, Olivas and Goodwin. The ends, Hollis and Chris. The backers, Taylor, Bennett. The cornerbacks, Tucker and Rosado. And Edwards and White are your safeties for the Warriors.
3rd down and 5. Good start so far for the Kecoughtan defense. Of course, Phoebus is two running plays. They got him shut, got him moving.
Wright's trying to pass, but he's not going to find any receivers, and he's going to get taken down.
He picked up about 3.5 yards, 3 yards. That's going to bring 4 and 2. But they're in Phoebus side of the 50, so let's just see how that shakes out.
Good start for the Kecoughtan defense, like you said, to keep them from throwing the ball. That's going to deaden the pass game and allow Kecoughtan to play strictly run if they can't get that passing game going.
Well, Kecoughtan just made a statement, and that was
it
ain't going to be easy if you're going to drop back and throw, at least right now. Of course, we know Phoebus is going to adjust and see if they can't pick that up the next time he goes back to throw it.
Nick Carrera back deep, and the kick is to the right side. And guess where it goes?
Went out at about the 26-yard line, and that's going to bring Kecoughtan up. I mean, I don't know what it is. I think maybe the footballs are made with a shank button on them or something. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Everything to the right when you kick it.
This has just been consistent almost all year long, Brent.
Well, you're going to have to telepathically tell me what's going on down here. I'm in a hook corner here.
Yes. Everybody loves that corner because when the play stops there, you can't see anything.
We got the projector going on the white wall. And
we need a bigger booth.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger booth.
The screen that you've got in here for the last couple years is a big difference, too.
Yes, it is.
All right, Kecoughtan first play of the night. And Mr. Savage on the center. Hands off. And that is to Mitchell.
Man,
and he break it outside.
Gets the corner. He's gone, folks. He's going to be caught.
Could be a horse collar right there. Going to be a horse collar. And he went from the 26 to the Phoebus 32-yard line. And let's see if there's not, make it 34-yard line. They boot backing it up. The officials are doing a little Shirley Temple dance now, trying to get back in position.
Elijah Nelson making the tackle on that, and otherwise he would have gone all the way, and that was number 20.
That's Mitchell.
For the Warriors. Mitchell, good speed he showed, but good speed by Nelson to catch up. I thought he was going to be gone.
Yeah, he reached out and got him by the collar. If they show that again. At least he was playing with it anyway. Whether they pick up the flag, I don't know. It looks like he just put it in his pocket.
Let's see.
There is no foul for horse collar. The runner was taken down forward, not sideways or backwards. It is first down.
That was a 40-yard gain there for Victor Mitchell on what was that, the first play from scrimmage?
First play from
I
scrimmage.
think maybe this doesn't bode Hampton last night. Three plays touchdown, 3 plays touchdown. I'm not trying to jinx anybody. My gosh, he was so quick last night, my ink didn't dry.
Yes, I know.
There's another one.
Right up the middle again. Kecoughtan coming out, pounding the ball, playing like Phoebus normally. That was Tyler Chris, number 3, the young man who's going to be doing the kicking tonight for Kecoughtan as well. Normally a halfback at his normal position there.
Yeah, he's a pretty good sized fella too. At 6 foot and 195 pounds, he's just a junior.
Watch these trips at the left-hand side.
Savage back for his first pass. A wide open receiver over here. Chris picked it off. And he is going to pick up a good, so he went from the 20, 23, 28 down to the 10. So it's an 18-yard pickup. It's on the 5, I'm sorry. I lose my even digits.
Extra burst, put him down there at 5.
Let's put him at 23 yard pickup. I'll tell you, that's quite an impressive opening drive for Kecoughtan. Does it remind you of the Bethel game a little bit? We got surprised when they came out and just moved the ball right down the field?
Yes. But nothing Kecoughtan does should surprise anybody. They're an excellent team.
He just gave it off. That's Fugate, number 5.
And that's the man they go to when they get down in the red zone. They go to Fugate.
End zone Fugate right there, but I don't know if he picked anything up. He might have lost a yard. I don't know.
Phoebus is waiting for him.
Yeah, well, they know where they're going to go. But like I say, that's end zone right there, buddy. You get down inside the 10, 15-yard line, you can count on seeing number 5.
Definitely. Second down now and goal.
This would be a big victory for Phoebus if they can stop this touchdown, because we're missing Thomas. This would be interesting to see. And there goes again, right up the middle. That's Fugate, touchdown.
Wow.
5 yards out, just danced right up the middle. Yeah, that was an impressive drive right there. Good. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw Kecoughtan take that ball on a drive right down the field, and everything they did seemed to work.
Well, I can tell you, our expert down there keeping the stats, the lawyer, the main man with the pen, Mr. Edgar. Of course, I hope we get a picture of that hat on his head tonight. I really
Did you see the one he had last night?
Yeah. And that. Yes, sir. I wanted to show that hat right there. He's called the Red Cross to get his hair redone, and that's why he's wearing that hat. All right, here's an interesting point. They're lining up like they might go for 2.
There's the hat right
there. There it is. There it is. Red Cross Frank right there, buddy. All right, they've lined up like they might go for 2 here.
For 2. And they've got a stacked backfield back there.
Sir.
Savage in the middle. He's going to throw. He's got a wide open receiver.
He missed Fugate. Yep, that was on a quarterback. Fugate was open.
Yes, he was. And that's a rare miss for Savage because he's on the money.
Here we go. Watch this touchdown. It's a dance up the middle, Paul. Look at this.
Look at the hole. Watch the hole.
Gets hit one time and there's nobody behind him. Watch it. Right here. Right there in the hole. Little touch. And he's there.
Wow.
All right, Paul. Give the stats from the stat man.
Oh, there it is.
I'll just give
I don't understand this one.
Up.
Let's go down to Bob on the field. Bob, what do you got?
Hey, guys, I don't know if you can look back in history, but I think this is the first time that a Kecoughtan team has scored against a Phoebus team in the first quarter. And you go back maybe 10 years before that's happened. But that horse collar that you call, Brent, if the guy is not jerked backwards or to the side but goes forward, they don't call it a horse collar. That's why the flag was picked up. But I tell you what, once this team looks awful sharp offensively, and I'm talking about the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. You're absolutely right. We were quite surprised at how easily he moved down the field in just a second. Of course, here's a nice return by Phoebus, and he ain't quit yet.
He hasn't. He's still going. That was number 25, Trey Hamlin, who picked up that ball on the low kick by Chris.
We'll talk about that touchdown for Kecoughtan real quick. That was a 5-play, 1 minute and 57 drive. 5-yard TD by Fugate. Of course, like the statistician said, he went behind a fullback, number 72, at 260 pounds. That kind of creates a little space in there for you to get through. Somebody get out of the way of the train so the car can drive by. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. We got a great start for Phoebus. Paul, they're on their 44-yard line.
And they're going to have to establish that running game, so look for Becknell to start pounding it in there.
Well, I'm thinking they might have to open it up here at some point. They just did a little stuff. Well, he turned for the handoff. Busted play, and it forced Mr. Wright to have to run because there was nobody there to hand it off to. The postman got home late.
But look at what he did out of that one. Looks like he's going to get a first down out of that busted play. He turned around like he was going to hand it off and was surprised that nobody was there. Good camera shot.
Great camera shot. Not only was there nobody there for Phoebus, there was nobody there for Kecoughtan.
No.
Nobody wanted to play this side of the field. I mean, everybody was gone.
Oh, there goes our spider. There goes that
Happy
spider.
Halloween, guys. Our guys down in the truck are doing a great job and they're having fun with the camera work. It's really amazing what they can do with that stuff. I'm telling you what, let me look like I'm intelligent. Of course, that won't last long on the screen. I think Kecoughtan might have been waiting for that.
Yes, they were.
That was number 25 again for Phoebus.
Yeah, that was Trey Hamlin.
Trey Hamlin again,
Trey
yeah.
Hamlin.
The loss of no, he picked up a couple of yards, they say. Well, that surprised me, but okay. It's 2nd down and 8, Paul.
We'll have to make a card for Trey Hamlin. He's playing a little bit more here tonight. Keep him in my lineup.
I think maybe Phoebus trying to make some adjustments too.
Yes, they are.
The Kecoughtan did a little thing. Right back for his first pass. He's got a wide open receiver over there, number 8. And he's got the first down, taken out of bounds.
That's Joe Addison, who at one time was a quarterback over at Hampton, I believe, and he transferred over here. And
he played at Hampton, came over here, played a little bit of quarterback, and now they've got him at wide receiver.
Did a great job there to pick up on the first down for the Phoebus Phantoms. So they're beginning to move the ball a little bit as they get down inside the 35-yard line of the Warriors.
Well, I don't think we're going to hold Phoebus down. I think right now I'm wondering if it's going to be a Hampton Kecoughtan. You know, so many possessions that everybody scored. Good Lord. Kecoughtan scored on all 5 of their possessions until a fumble on their 6th one.
Well, there's Wright again. This time he's going around left side, and there's nobody there.
He got taken down, but, I mean, he just had everybody full with a great fake. I mean, not only did they tackle the guy he faked to, they tackled 3 guys around him. Looked like a store grab right there. I mean, and he's just running free. You got to see that again. He was just running free.
I can't believe there was nobody over there. Number 19, Justin Wright, the young quarterback.
Either he has the option, and that was just a great read by the quarterback, or that was a design play. I'm not sure, but maybe this will tell us. He just pulled it back. Yeah, he just pulled it back.
Right there.
And 2 had already committed on the inside, and he is gone.
34 yards rushing on 3 carries so far.
I think maybe
there goes another one.
I think maybe Phoebus has said, okay, we're going to give you something else that reminds you of Hampton a little bit, doesn't it, Quillen?
Yeah, it does.
You got to go something that reminds you of Quillen, but I mean, when you're concentrating on looking at a running back and a quarterback all of a sudden starts taking over, it's like Bo Morgan did at Bethel. All of a sudden you're creating a different dimension to the game, and that's right now, if he continues to do this, this is something I can guarantee you that Kecoughtan didn't plan on.
Exactly. They're going to have to make adjustments. Trey Hamlin picks up a couple of yards there. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Phantoms. They spread it out across the field. 2 receivers down near the near side. Back to pass, but he can't find anybody, and now he does. Lofts it to the corner, and it's almost intercepted.
Ball was a little bit out of bounds. I think if he came down with it, it would have been out of bounds.
I agree.
And I think Wright did the smart thing, trying to, just throw it out of bounds because he was in the grasp almost.
That'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Phantoms.
I can't see what yard line. They're on the 10?
They're on the 10-yard line, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you just can't.
Come a little bit closer. You might
That's what I was waiting for right there. I'm going to do the humming, and you do the singing. We'll be like a duo.
One receiver out wide. Nobody back there with him, and he's going to take it himself to try and get the first down. And we're going to see
fighting right there, buddy. That was a different run. That's a different person. That's not the quarterback.
Well, that's right. That's number 28. That was Robert Smith, a junior defensive end wide receiver. Where did Justin Wright go?
Well, that's just a design play. It's just a quarterback carry. That's what it was. As we used to call it, everybody right. This brings up a 4th down, about 5 for the first down and about 9 for a touchdown.
Looks like Robert Smith's going to be in there as the quarterback. Wright's not in there right now. Number 28, Robert Smith.
That's going to be behind the ball. Okay.
He's going to be the quarterback. And we're going to have a whistle.
It'll be a timeout, I think. Timeout.
Phoebus.
Get this right. Well, we got that timeout. I'm just looking to see what I've got. That's Beckford. He's a senior.
Who's that?
The 28.
No, that's Tell you in a second. Robert Smith. Robert Smith, 28. That's who I have anyway. You have Bedford. Let's see. All right, I've got Robert Smith down here, and you've got a different name than I do. All right, folks, it's either Robert Smith or Luke Beckford, one or the other. We'll try and find out for you here shortly on who it is. Number 28.
Robert Smith on this one.
Robert Smith on that one. Beckford on another one.
I'm going to do away with the Beckford.
We're going to go with 2 for 1 and call it Robert Smith. Fourth down and 5. It looks like now they changed that to about 4, it looks like now.
For the first down.
That's interesting.
And 4th down and 8.
Yeah, it is Robert Smith.
Okay.
28 is Robert Smith.
We are
He's
really working our statistician out down there tonight. He's having to get up and move around. All right, here we go.
Looks like Gerard Riley is going to attempt a field goal here for the Phoebus Phantoms. This will be about a 24-yard attempt. So kick it from the 14. It's down. Kick is up. That looks plenty high enough.
And it's good.
And it's good.
So this is a side of Phoebus that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Come down, get points. Seriously, I mean,
not
it wasn't
on a touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of times, Phoebus would take that, 4th and 3, and they're going right or left or up the middle. We saw more different players in that series right there at different positions.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
A little bit surprised. If anybody's here scouting for the playoffs, I don't know what they're going to walk away with.
I don't either. I've got to put under the card out here for Mr. Robert Smith.
I don't know that. I don't think Wright got hurt in any way. I know he carried the ball a couple of times, but I didn't see him limp or anything. We'll check the side of the field and see if I can see him.
Yeah, we'll check with Bob here shortly. Maybe he can explain to us why we have Robert Smith at the quarterback position rather than Wright. But there was a field goal there, 24-yard field goal by Gerard Riley. 7 plays, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, culminated by the 24-yard field goal. The Phantoms on the board with 3 points, now trail the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 6-3 here at Darling Stadium on Halloween.
Here comes an interesting point now. Kecoughtan was able to move that ball in 5 plays and get a touchdown on the last possession. Let's see if there have been any adjustments and what can change here. I see Wright, number 19, he's on the sidelines right in front of the bench. The Phoebus quarterback, he's got his helmet off, and he's talking to one of the assistants. I don't know if there's something wrong or not. I can't tell.
Well, we'll try and find out.
Yeah,
Bob will be doing some investigating down there. Here comes the kickoff, a little short. It's going to be taken at about the 22-yard line.
And brought back to about the 38.
Yeah, that looked like it was number 20, Nick Carrera. Good speed. So Carrera takes it down, and the Warriors will
20
take
is Mitchell,
over
I believe.
1st and 10. Is that Mitchell, number
20 is Mitchell,
Carrera.
yeah.
You're right, that's Mitchell. I'm sorry.
Okay.
First down from about the 38-yard line for the Warriors, and like you said, let's see what they can do.
Yeah, we get a chance to get this playing and just see how Kecoughtan, they were 5 for 5 in positive plays last series.
They're going to pass on the first one, and they're going deep, real deep,
overthrew.
way deep.
Yep, they overthrew him just by about 2 yards.
That was intended for Keith Grandy, and he was out there, and he had about a step and a half, 2 steps on the defender. If the ball had been in there, he'd have been gone.
Yep, and I don't know if the cold has anything to do with it. Go ahead and give that Kecoughtan offense.
The Warriors look for Desmond Savage, the quarterback, and Victor Mitchell, the tailback, Tyler Christ at halfback, Keith Grandy, whose name we just mentioned, at flanker, and Chris Burwell, the split end, and Nick Carrera, the tight end. Those are the 3 main targets for passing. And you have Keegan Brown at the tight end. Whoa.
Well, it looks like there's been a few changes, and that was Mitchell that just got stood up. Got a 1-yard loss on that play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that looked like Harry Lewis just stopped that one right off the bat.
Here's the Phoebus defense right here.
Speaking of Harry Lewis, there he is. Lewis and McKenzie at the tackle, Smith and Willis at the ends. The backers are Moore, Roberts, Baskerville, Holloway. The cornerbacks are Robinson and Lewis, and the safety is Nelson. And the
Safety.
the
Strong
second safety,
safety.
the
Strong safety.
strong safety is Willis. I can't get this out.
I'm looking to see if I see.
Yeah, the shortstop.
I'm looking to see number 2 down there. I don't think Robbie's playing tonight.
No, he's not. He's injured. He's injured. Looks like Savage can't get out of the way there. He had nobody to throw to. Good coverage by the Phantoms, and they are able to bring Savage down for a loss.
Yep. Good adjustment. That's going to bring up 4th down in about 11. So Phoebus has done their job on this second series.
2 adjustments, one on offense we saw result in the field goal, and the second one on defense where they've bottled up the receivers and given Savage nobody to throw to.
Well, they had an open receiver, just missed him a little bit on that first pass.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that Phoebus let somebody get behind him.
Kecoughtan's punt is up. It will go out of bounds
I'm not surprised.
near the 40.
Okay, guys, while we got a break and a change field, let's go down to you, Bob. What you got?
Hey, guys, I talked to Justin Wright. He smiled at me. He said, I'm okay. He's ready to go. That was a set play to get the ball to a running back on a direct snap. I tell you what, this Kecoughtan team looks real good offensively, but that not having Thomas as your kicker, they had to go for 2. They don't have the confidence in the other guy to can kick the ball as well. Chris, number 3. But this is, you can see the change in this team right now. The momentum is switching over to the Phantoms.
Yeah, but Bob, I think you're absolutely right. We just saw that whole series of stopped Kecoughtan Warriors take over. They held them to -yards on that. And now Phoebus has got the ball, and he picked up about 4, it looks like.
And right back in the game again. And he gives that to Becknell, who picks up the yardage.
But like we talked about earlier, I don't know how it's going to play out in the game, but Mr. Thomas, Chase Thomas, not being out there, takes a big weapon away from the Kecoughtan Warriors. You guys talked about it earlier.
Yeah. Right now, you're looking at a one-possession change here, where it could have been 2.
And the irony of that is Thomas was able to score from 30, 35 yards out.
Yes, easily.
Big, and he's not going to be back according to the coach. He's hurt. He's done. So he
Becknell
broke that
again,
play in the
and gets a
middle.
hold.
Broke that play, and he picked up about 6, 7 yards. First down.
Becknell finding that hole on the left-hand side, running behind his blockers. Plenty of room there, and it's beginning to look more like Phoebus football now as they're beginning to grind it.
You're absolutely right, Paul. It only looks like he got stood up for just a second when he got to the line, but he just popped right through there and picked up another 6, 7 yards. And that's what you talk about all the time about. They don't quit. Legs to keep pumping.
They don't. And Sean Alston was one
You go
that
all the way
just kept going and kept going. You hit him, and he just dragged you another 5, 10 yards.
You're going to have to bring him down. They're not going to quit for you. Nice rollout.
Oh, he's looking.
Flanker pass.
Got him. Right there to about the Royal 40-yard line. It'll be a first down again
Looks
for
like
the
he picked up
Phantoms.
about 11 yards on that. Tell you what, Phoebus is impressing me. We talked about it the other day that Phoebus's passing game opened up last week.
Yes.
They started establishing, and we can take a look at this play. You see, just the tight end just got outside. He just rolls out to the right, and he just goes to the flat, and
He
just
was
floats
looking
it
at
up
it the
there.
whole time.
Yeah, nice play.
Boom, wide open.
Of course, number 84 is about 6'3". It's a handoff right now.
Ooh, that didn't go anywhere.
I think we got a loss of a yard or 2 on that one. Who ran that ball?
That was Becknell again,
Becknell.
number 11.
Well, you can tell that Kecoughtan is keying on Mr. Becknell. And I don't know how many yards he's got so far, but you don't see him lose too many times, lose yardage.
No, you don't. He's usually picking up good positive yardage. Quick huddle and count here. In fact, no huddle this time.
Yes, looks like Phoebus is going to pick up the pace, but then they turn around and have to call the play.
I like this. We're going to go with the speed up here. So
Well, what it does, it keeps Kecoughtan from being able to bring in new players.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're set in position, they can go at any time, so you can't be running players in and out of the game.
back to pass again as Phoebus right slips, and he's going to get dropped in the backfield after he slipped on that one. brought down by the Warriors, number 75. That is Nico Thompson.
He's the size of the side of the house, by the way. I mean, he dwarfed. Yeah, let's see this again. You'll see where he went to try to plant his feet and got a little slippage out there.
We saw a little bit of that last night in last night's game. I would have thought it would have dried out more tonight, but might be just some wet ground out there still left.
Well, the grass has a different texture to it. It's just the type of field that it is.
Watch
there
this.
It is.
There it is.
Yeah, slip again.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Looked like had a rap dancer out there for a second, the way he kept spinning around. Remember the old hubcap thing where you get down in the ground and spin around? You don't remember.
3rd and long, and he's going to the
right
sideline.
And look at this. Nice catch.
Man.
My gosh.
Guess who that was? Number 8, Joe Addison.
And not only that, we're seeing what Kecoughtan usually does.
Yes.
And that beautiful camera work, guys, by the way. If you just show that again just for the camera work, I mean, it was right into the TV screen, folks. I mean, probably knocked over a Coca-Cola on the end table where that thing came at you.
And again, what's impressing me here, Brent, is the fact that the routes the receivers are running tonight are really working
Watch this,
well.
right at you. Look at this.
Watch this pass, right in my arms.
Yes,
Got
sir.
it. Wow.
Those guys hit too hard. I don't like that.
Big spread offense out there. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right.
A little bubble pass.
Addison again gets it. He's going to pick up maybe a yard on that bubble pass.
Maybe 2, but it's positive. And that kind of pass, like Kecoughtan throws, it makes you think.
Yes.
If the guy breaks 1 tackle, he's got positive yards. I mean, that's the thing.
And a lot of times with not many people out there, you get a whole lot of positive
I think
yards.
we're going to see the quarter end here. I don't think they're going to run another play.
And this has been a quick quarter. Not many penalties here tonight.
And the passes they've thrown have been caught, so it hasn't.
Yes.
So the only thing they've done is stop for the first downs. Let's talk about it real quick. Yeah, the score showing the Warriors still 6-3, but after the first drive for Kecoughtan, which was a tremendous drive in 5 plays in less than 2 minutes, they've been shut down.
They have. The Phoebus Phantom defense came to play. And I'll guarantee you, the coaches are making the adjustments. And you know the coaches are good. And you know these players are good. And once they make those adjustments, it's going to be shut down ball for them.
Let's be honest, a lot of these coaches on both teams are all from the same place.
Yes.
Phoebus.
Yes.
And so they know what kind of ball they play and know where the adjustments are going to come. I got the chance to talk to Coley before the game and talked to him earlier this week. And I told him it was just very appreciative by a lot of people. My wife went to Kecoughtan, the way he and his coaches have turned that program around, and they've done a great job. Win, lose, or draw here tonight, they're in the playoffs, and for Kecoughtan, that's upside, that's upbeat. So
There on that
glad
replay,
to
saw that pass again coming right into my hands that time. I wasn't prepared to catch it that time, so Addison had to make the catch.
If you'd have planted your feet and went left, you'd have scored. Okay, while we got this chance in this break, Bob, what you got down there?
Hey, guys. Oh, I didn't walk down the other end of the field because I knew they're going to be down here, so I'm saving my feet. But you can see the Phoebus sideline. These guys are bouncing. They're walking with a little get up in their step. They feel like they can now play against this team. But if you notice what happened on one of Becknell's runs, Kecoughtan, all the defensive guys took an angle, and he went right into that. So back up to you guys.
Thanks, Bob. You're absolutely right. If they're not keying on anything else, it's Bucknell. But then here's this.
There he goes.
There he breaks it, and he's coming down to the 5-yard line. So Phoebus is on the doorstep, and that was about a 20-yard pickup.
Oh, yeah, and that play right just gives it to Becknell, and he takes off on the left-hand side, gets a nice block, hits the open, and then he's gone all the way down to about the 7-yard line. So quickly the running game has been established by Phoebus.
He looked like he almost took one step toward the middle just to freeze the linebackers, and then he just quickly broke it outside. And that allowed his people to set up blocks.
By the way,
look who brought the play in there, the same man that made that run.
Our statistician there real quickly gave us the stats for the first quarter. Kecoughtan was 74 total yards, Phoebus with 91. And
Phoebus knocking on the door here at the beginning of the second quarter.
And I'm going to guess they're going to give it the same. No, it's at number 28. This is the Wildcat, evidently, that they're running.
Fumble.
Robert Smith.
He said he called him down, I think.
Yeah. Robert Smith, number 28, in there, and what I'm going to call the Wildcat because he's not the regular quarterback, and we saw that the first time we thought he was the quarterback back there for right.
But I thought he lost some yards on that. He did. Okay.
No, yeah. I don't know.
So they're back to the 15 now, aren't they? Or no, the 12 or something like that?
The 12-yard line. So he lost about 5 on that one.
It'll be second and goal from the 12. See if Kecoughtan can continue to stack this up. Force them into another field goal. That would be really interesting to see. Phoebus kick 2 field goals in 1/2. I can't recall seeing that. Must be equipment problem. Got a good crew out here tonight in officials. They, all of them, a lot of experience, good people. Looking forward to it. Not to put anybody else down. I just happen to know this crew. They do a good job. There he goes back now.
Now gets it again, and Kecoughtan wraps him up after he gets inside the 10-yard line, close to the original line of scrimmage.
And put it down at about, I guess that's the 8, 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah, about the 8, I think.
That's going to make it 3rd and goal from the 8.
Well, this is going to be a big play for Kecoughtan right here.
I think we're going to see a rollout pass.
And I can't remember his name, but years and years and years ago, Phoebus had a great field goal kicker. In fact, I think he won a state championship for him one year. I may be wrong. It might have been a playoff game. But they went to him.
Cole was his name.
Was it Cole?
Mm-hmm.
Just a great kid. Henderson was the guy. There's the pitch to number 25, and that is Trey Hamlin.
You did a new card on him.
Oh, we got flags flying all over the place here.
I hope that doesn't take Phoebus out of field goal position. See who it's against.
Hamlin on
Boy,
the
Kecoughtan sure can't afford it now. They've had a great series here to stop this drive. And
let's see what they say.
Personal foul against Phoebus. Now that hurts. That'll take him back.
Dead ball, personal foul against the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty. It will be 4th down.
I'll say that was a big play. Big play. That takes it back down to the out to the 25, so it'd be 35, 42-yard field goal attempt if they do that.
Yeah.
They got to put the ball in the air. I haven't seen it, and maybe they've got a whiz kid over there can kick it 42 yards, but I haven't seen it. You don't pick up anything on the punt. I mean, you're gonna pick up 9 yards.
Unless they got somebody that can drop kick it.
Yes. It looks like a little bit of confusion out there with Phoebus. They're calling people over. Here they got 2 wide receivers down the bottom of the field. Paul, call it out, buddy.
They're looking to pass now.
I think we're going to get a timeout.
Confusion, yeah. They didn't like what they had out there.
I think that's Phoebus' 2nd timeout, I think, to straighten plays up. Both of them have been called to square away a play that they're trying to run.
What a big They get a kick.
So Kecoughtan getting the benefit of that last penalty moves Phoebus out of field goal range and puts them at 4th and long.
They're 4th and goal from the 25-yard line. That's where this down is. So they've got to score. They've got to score or turn it over. It's just that simple. I don't care if it get down to the 5. It's still turn over.
All right, Frank, what do you got for me?
Well, you guys have mentioned it. Phoebus is running a lot of different players in there tonight. We've seen 4 different guys carry the ball, but what we haven't seen is Jalen Holloway at fullback. He's been in there, by my count, 3 plays where they've rushed the ball tonight. I thought for a minute that accounted for some of Becknell's trouble tonight. Becknell now with 7 rushes, 38 yards, which is a little below his average. His average is up near 10 in most of the games we broadcast. So a lot of new faces for Phoebus tonight. A little confusion there, but that play right there was Nelson, who had stepped up on the line. There's confusion about who was on the line of scrimmage there on the left side.
And if you look at them right now, they're both lined up side by side. Somebody's got to step back.
That was the problem with the play against Bethel.
Exactly, and if both of them go downfield, he didn't go over 5
right,
yards.
Look, and he's got a man wide open, and he's hit right as the ball arrives. A good defensive play by the Warriors. It looked like number 10 for the Warriors. That is, check see who that is real quick. That's Elijah White.
He did deliver a Good Morning America welcome right there.
Yes, he did. Tell you what, so a good defensive stand by the Kecoughtan
Yeah, I'd like to
Warriors
see that again, Andy.
as they hold
Watch
Phoebus.
watch this contact right here. A low.
Perfect timing.
I mean, man.
Perfect timing by the Warriors.
I guarantee you when that receiver gets back over here to the benches, throw that a little quicker, don't throw it at all. Yes, sir. Just set me up for the hospital trip, because that was a great blow. The great thing about that stance was, though, by them throwing a pass and it being incomplete, Kecoughtan takes the ball back over at the 25.
They sure do, and this could be a critical series here for the Warriors.
Well, got Fugate in motion, fake to him, and it's also over to
pass, and he's got some open there. He'll get the first
that's
down.
number 24. That's one of the leading receivers. That's Grandy right there. That's one of the leading receivers in the district. Who we haven't seen thrown to tonight is Carrera. And that's number 6 standing right there on this side.
Oh, they'll throw to him. Don't worry about that.
Well, that's who Heritage took out of the game for Kecoughtan. They took a Carrera right out of the game. They put a defender on top of him and then put one where they always caught the ball right there in that little angle.
And there's Carrera right there, the tight end at the bottom of your screen there. 2 receivers to the top. Savage back. It looks like
Fugate, I believe.
What's he doing in this early? He usually doesn't get in until we get down inside the 20.
Well, I think we're going to try to mix it up a little bit more, keep somebody fresh in there. Between Mitchell and him, I'm telling you what, it'd be quite an offensive backfield. You ran them both at the same time.
Yeah, he's got Fugate, he's got Mitchell, and he's got Tyler Christ, who does some real good running out of the halfback slot.
That's a big boy. But if you look at Mitchell, he's amazing. 5'6", 270 pounds. That's a lot of muscle on a small frame.
Yes, it is. That's a bowling ball.
It's a difference of getting hit by a baseball and a football. A whole lot more concentrated with that baseball.
Grandy coming down to the bottom of your screen here. And we're going to have a whistle, a timeout, looks like. Timeout, Phoebus.
So that's their 3rd timeout, I think. I think that's their last timeout. Yeah, it's 2nd down and 4 for Kecoughtan, and they. Well, Paul, why don't you see who's down on the field and see what he's got for us?
Bob Pence, what do you got down there, Bob?
Hey, guys, nothing will deflate your balloon any more than a 15-yarder when you're in a field goal range. This is a great opportunity for the Kecoughtan Warriors. They're now got the momentum going, but Frank is right. Phoebus has run a lot of different people, and there are 4 or 5 different guys have carried the ball, which is different. They run in their version of the Wildcat when they got down there that Paul was talking about. Right now is a big deal for the Kecoughtan Warriors to keep their momentum now and move this ball on down the field. Phoebus seems to be stepping on their own feet out there.
Yeah, 1 minute they had the momentum, Bob, and now it looks like they're just stuttering a little bit right here, right now. And this would be the time that the Warriors would want to take advantage of it, and this would be the time that the Phantoms are going to have to step up and solidify the defense again.
2 things you're talking about here. Phoebus no longer has any timeouts, I don't believe, this half. And the second thing is, I'm just wondering if Phoebus is not working a little bit for the playoffs, getting a lot more people involved, so that you're not keying on one person, and that you can keep fresh people in there when they get into the playoffs. We know they already got Robinson sitting out with a little toe injury, like you said, Bob, and they got another week to let him heal up, and they're just trying to spread the ball around a little bit, make it look a little bit different for Kecoughtan, and for anybody sitting in the bleachers is doing a little bit of scouting.
Fugate around the right side on that last play gets some big yardage.
That was a helmet to helmet. Did you see that?
Yeah, runs into his own man. He's got 4 carries for 20 yards and 1 touchdown so far tonight.
That's a first down. No, that's first down run, and he picked up 5 yards. They're picking up 5 yards at a pop right now.
And they're using Fugate a whole lot more now than they usually do. It was Fugate again, number 5.
And they're using Chris out there for blocking. You see him out there. He's taking out a defender just about every time. I have to commend Kecoughtan right now that they're really spreading the plays around. They'll run one up the middle, and then they'll flip it out to the side on the pass, or they'll run wide to right or left. And Phoebus is coming up almost like a blitz. And that's Mitchell, I think.
There's Mitchell, number 20.
And he's picked up about 3.
He takes it over to the left-hand side. It'll be 3rd down now for the Warriors.
About 2, right?
Just about 2, 2.5. Call it a long 2, short 3, one or the other.
Stuttered.
It's like that putt, that
Really, I miss it no matter what. It doesn't matter. I swear I play on the golf courses where the hole actually moves. You know, it really does. I think it's.
Mitchell now with 4 carries and 45 yards on the night.
That's kind of an impressive stat.
Big play here, and Savage keeps it. He's looking for the first down, and he's going to get it.
Nice
He'll
little
go
fake.
around the edge on the left-hand side. He has a good fake. They went for the runner on the inside, and Savage just tucked it under and just went right for the post, for the marker.
Both coaches have done something tonight that I didn't anticipate. Of course, that's not unusual for me not anticipating. But I looked at it. Both quarterbacks average running between 4 and 5 times a game. And already in the first half, we're getting that kind of action from them, which brings a whole new dimension to both teams on offense if you're looking at it.
Now you're going to have to watch the quarterback for running rather than just passing. And there he goes, and he's going to get a loss unless they give it to him.
And that was Mitchell again.
For forward motion. I would say he lost a part of a yard, but
they're going to give him
depends
one.
on where they mark it.
Yeah, they're going to give him 1, but the flags are touching.
7 plays.
Lewis, he's tackled by number 70. That was Lewis. We gave him a player of the game here a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we, Frank? A big boy, and when he makes contact, he maintains contact.
Savage back in the shotgun. Gives it again to Fugate. This time the Phoebus defense is right there waiting for him, and he's going nowhere fast.
Nowhere fast. I think this might call for a passing play, and do you think Phoebus is going to be sending everybody from the bus?
I think they are, yes. But
Third down and 10.
This is where the Warriors need to get their receivers open.
Yeah. He's not going to have a whole lot of time. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't roll out a little bit. Ain't be much faking. He's going to have to keep somebody back there to block for him because Phoebus is going to be sending people.
Yeah.
Got 3 receivers, 2 wide right and 1 top. Got 2 guys back there to help with the blocking. Sends Fugate in motion.
And they're looking deep down. I don't know where he was throwing.
He was throwing at the Carrera, but Carrera went going straight across east and west instead of north and south. If he'd have broke toward the goal line, it might have had a chance at the play. But then again, I don't know if he was blocked out by the defender and not being able to see the play. But if you see this again, you'll see he's running right side by side with number 7, and he's behind him, almost like he couldn't see through him.
Little mix-up on the play there on somebody's part, I'm sure, whether it was reading the wrong route or running the wrong route, or like say possibly getting pushed off.
Looking for a little pooch kick. Let's see if this goes out of bounds. It'd be a smart thing to do is to kick it over toward the whistle.
We're going to have a flag here before we decide, and it looks like it's going to be against Kecoughtan.
Prior to the snap, false start against the offense. 5 yards remains, 4th down.
Well, that really won't help him. I mean, it won't hurt him because.
No, I'll give him more room to punt.
Yeah. Say he can get the ball down the field. Of course, we got a new kicker. He just needs to get that ball down field away from the receiver. That's what he needs to do.
Number 3, Christ with the punt.
Great kick.
Nice punt.
Over here to the side.
Well, a little out of bounds again.
Went out of bounds a little bit earlier than I think he wanted to. But they're bringing it up to the 20-yard line. They might as well kick it in the end zone.
Yeah.
But Phoebus will take over, trailing 6-3 with 5:09 left in the second quarter.
An interesting game so far.
Who thought it was going to be this low scoring a game, especially after the start, the way Kecoughtan went down the field?
Yeah, the way Kecoughtan played in that first drive, I thought we were going to see Kecoughtan score some more. I thought we would see Phoebus, the way they started out, a little slow, and then their running game took off. I thought, okay, here it comes. We're going to see them grind it out. And I figured you would see at a minimum 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
Now, how they were distributed, I wasn't sure, but I was looking at 14-7.
Holding by the receiving team. That will be penalized 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down
at the 10.
Phoebus.
It'll be first down at the 10.
Kecoughtan benefits again from another penalty. We haven't had too many penalties.
What's that game last night? Hampton won it, but they had like 90 yards in penalties on 11 penalties. And Phoebus can't keep going at this pace. I mean, it took them out of a touchdown or a field goal down here, and it's tough starting from the 10. Of course, Phoebus has done it many times before.
They have that.
And driven the ball.
Phoebus got everybody spread out here. gives it to Becknell in the backfield, and he is stopped cold in his tracks.
You had 2 Kecoughtan guys ready to take the handoff.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in there kind of quick. I'm not kidding you.
It'll be a loss of about 2 yards on the play. That's going to drop it back to about the 7 or 8 yard
You
line.
think maybe they got one of them listening machines somewhere that they're hearing the play being called in the huddle? Because I'm telling you, they all met right there where the quarterback turned.
Somebody gave them the wrong information there, huh?
Yeah, it's like Frank's down there saying that they need to run these plays wide. Because Kecoughtan is definitely lined up to stop anything up the middle. They're not letting him break anything close.
But where's Phoebus running? Up the middle.
Yeah.
That's why they're designed to stop it up the middle. Again, they spread it up.
As my first coach used to say, the best thing you can do is
Dead ball, delay a game
run where they
against
ain't.
the offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's going to take them
second down.
back.
Half
No,
the
it's going to be half the distance, isn't it? Is that a 5 yards?
Correction, half the distance.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is not boding well for Phoebus if they have to punt the ball. But again,
But it's only second down. Second from the 4 yard line.
3 penalties for 30 yards so far for Phoebus.
Wow.
One that stopped a real scoring threat. And, like we're saying,
Hampton waiting for that run.
no,
Becknell wrapped
that was
up.
Kecoughtan that was waiting for that run.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sorry, Kecoughtan waiting for that run. And they stopped him again. It looks like possibly another lost yard. So
They
it's
have
going to be on
picked
the
up-
3 yard line now.
Kecoughtan has picked up on some key on that inside run because, I mean, they are just collapsing on the ball when he turns to hand it off. There's got to be some kind of a rollout or pitch out or something to take that pressure off the quarterback in the handoff.
They're going to have to do something. 3rd and long.
Yeah, they
You
stopped.
almost hate to throw in this situation. They're not going to. They hand it off again, and once again, Kecoughtan waiting for him. They drop him at about the 4 yard line, bring it up 4th and long, deep in your own territory. This is going to be interesting right here.
He'll be kicking from his own end zone. And here's a crucial thing: is you're a coach. Do you tell your team to go after it and hope to get a safety or turnover, and then you get a penalty and they get to start over again?
I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. But this is one of those crucial things. He's only got 14 yards to work with on this punt.
Yeah.
And at 14, there's the out of bounds line, and it's a touchback.
Yeah. You let him work with that. You put a little pressure from the ends, but let him get
They
the
need
kick
one
off.
more. They're still not ready. We're going to get another penalty for delay. He ain't got any more timeouts. I'm surprised. He hit the kicker. What did I tell you? Did I call it or what?
Yep.
Did I call it or what?
Man.
Left his feet and hit the kicker, and it just gave him the ball. Buck now has 10 carries for 34 yards. And he had 4 of those runs were of negative yards.
Now, is it intentional or unintentional?
Well, is it
Could it be running into the kicker?
It's not automatic first down.
5
yards.
penalty, so
It's
it
not
might be
going
a
to be
first
enough for
down.
a first down.
And so they're going to assess it on the where the ball is down.
It looked like he was motioning. We'll find out here as the refs get together.
They have a meeting of the minds.
Yeah. There are 2 fouls against Kecoughtan. The first is a 5-yard running into the kicker. That penalty is declined. There's a 10-yard block in the black against Kecoughtan. That will be administered 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Kecoughtan's going to end up with the ball. They'll just end up with it a little bit deeper than they were.
And they're still going to be in excellent field position. They'll be around the 42, 43 yard line somewhere in there.
42 looks like.
Again, now I'm going to bring it up again. Here we are missing Chase Thomas. Get one first down. They're in scoring position. Not tonight. But that's how big a factor Mr. Thomas being injured is. And I try not to bring it up anymore.
And with 2 minutes and 42 seconds, that would have been a
nice thing to fall back
nice
on.
option to be able to have.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Let's see if Kecoughtan's able to move this ball a little bit quicker. They're keeping more people in the backfield for protection. Gates going wide. Hand off to Mitchell.
Give it to Mitchell, and he tries to get off that left-hand side. He'll pick up a few yards.
He may pick up 2. It's going to make it about 2nd and 8. And the clock's running. I never would have visualized a 6-3 ball game.
Neither would I. Not
At halftime.
Not with these two teams.
No.
No.
And
Not at all.
and Phoebus kicking the field goal. And just when
That's got you befuddled tonight, doesn't
well,
it?
only because very rarely do they ever have to go to it. You know what I'm saying? They rarely ever have to go to it. They usually get the ball in the end zone.
In motion again. This time it goes.
Nice pass.
Carrera for the first time. That's a go-to man, and he drops it that time.
Yeah, it was a little bit low. The ball was a little bit low in front of him. But you can tell his head's down. He's not happy about that. That was a pass he's supposed to catch. After some of the catches we've seen him catch this year.
Oh, yeah, the game against Hampton, I know 3 times, third down with critical situations. They went to Carrera, and all 3 times he got the first down for them.
One hand over his head, turning around, catching him behind him. I mean, this young man he had Elmer's glue on his hands or something because he just couldn't drop the ball.
Mitchell and Fugate in the backfield, third and long.
Mitchell coming. Mitchell in motion.
Savage looking, throws short underneath the Fugate. He's not going anywhere.
He came back for the ball. It was a good idea, but the wide receiver over there was supposed to break all the way down the field and take a defender with him. If you see that, he didn't do it. He didn't take the defender with him. And Fugate was supposed to come in behind him in the vacant space.
All right, what do you do here now? You got 4th down with about 1 minute and 30 seconds to go.
I think you got to go for it. You got to go for it? Well, you got timeouts. Phoebus doesn't. Call a timeout and take a look at it. But I don't see why you wouldn't go for it. You've been able to stop Phoebus before. You got timeouts. You can't take them home on the bus.
Yeah.
So go ahead and use them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't give you bonus points. Look, we saved 3 timeouts, so we get an extra point for each time. That don't happen.
They're going to call timeout with 1 minute and 13 seconds left here in the first half at Darling Stadium, October 31st,
let's take a look at this.
2014.
Take a look at that last play. See what I'm talking about, I think, with the defender up top. He's supposed to keep going. He's supposed to keep going, and Fugate fill in behind him, but he just
didn't take anybody with him.
Didn't take anybody with him. Of course, I like number 50 standing up there looking down like, man, I'm sorry you got hurt. You got hit pretty hard there. I'm sorry. I should have helped you. Yeah, I can't see any reason not to go for this, whether it's a rollout or and a run if you've got it, or look downfield.
Like I say, Phoebus doesn't have any timeouts left. They can't stop the clock and set up anything.
And you just put 2 corners back and make sure they don't get anything long off on you. The only thing that can stop the clock is incomplete pass and a first down. So I don't see where you pick up anything. You turn it over to them at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm expecting a pass from the Warriors on this particular play.
Prayer was open on the last play. And I don't know if they're going. He's lining up and wide again over here.
Too late.
Okay, wide shot for everybody here, folks. You'll see what we're all thinking about. You can just look at our man.
Trips to the left here, and Savage pulls it back. He's looking for somebody, and he throws it up. And almost. And they're going to get a flag there. Tyler Christ.
Oh, you can hear the reaction up here. I mean, I think the defender was on his back, though, is what I think they're going to call. Defender was riding him. He looked like Roy Rogers and Trigger there for just a second.
Well, this could be a critical penalty if it goes against the Phoebus Phantoms.
Yeah. Because I just told you how old I was when I say Roy Rogers and Trigger. Like I knew him on first name basis.
Interference against the defense.
15
yards, results in a first down.
Well, you can hear the reaction from the fans out here, can't you?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
But still, with 1 minute and 5, here comes the replay on this. Let's see if we can catch it at the end. And maybe that's a good replay. The Mystic Knight, here we go.
You can see Savage back looking downfield.
Ouch.
Chris finally gets to a place where he looks like he might be open, and
they're calling his left hand on his back.
His left hand is on his back.
But that was
it's a call.
Yeah, it's a call. Boy, I wish he'd do something with that whistle.
He did. He blew it again. Timeout here for the Warriors. They're the only ones left with the timeouts at this point.
I just saved on my cherry cough syrup. I won't have to clear my head for about 2 hours, man. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yes, sir, my eyes won't blink for about 20 minutes now. Got this stare going on like a China doll. Well, here we go. Got a minute and 5 seconds left. It's 1st and 10. Kecoughtan has retained possession because of a 15-yard interference call. And it was a close play, but he's down on the field and he can see it better than I can. Although when I saw it, I thought it was pretty iffy.
He's got better eyesight than you do. You got glasses.
But I got to see it a second time, and he didn't. And
Kecoughtan's got a minute and 5 seconds to put some points on the board here in this first half.
Kecoughtan also has 1 timeout left. I think if they're going to go to the air, I'd be surprised if they lose a lot of time on the ground. Well, I was wrong. There goes Mitchell. Got to get out of bounds.
He's trying, and I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that back. He did.
I don't know how many yards did he pick up. I couldn't tell. About 3 yards.
Yeah. 3 yards.
Well, you're going to have to keep running that play real quick to score. What are we on the?
Ball on the 19-yard line.
Okay.
2nd down. Plenty of time because Kecoughtan has the timeouts.
They got to overload on the right. Got 3 receivers down here on the right-hand side and 1 up top. So spreading it out, see what they can get. And it's a handoff to Fugate.
And he is wrapped up.
He
gets loose. He gets loose. Spun around. He pulls out of the spin. And he's going to get inside.
He's about a yard short of a first down, I think.
Close to the 10.
He's about a yard short of the first down.
Yep.
I mean, what, 3rd down?
I am just amazed that he was able to come out of that. I thought he was going to be down for sure, and he got spun around, and when he did, somehow or another, he released from the grip and took off.
And Fugate's about 5'10", goes 170. And Mitchell's 5'6" and goes 170.
Small guys, but speedy.
I'm telling you, you put 170 pounds on a 5'6" frame.
And there goes another one of the Warrior timeouts there with 52 seconds left
timeout.
and a yard to go, 3rd down. They're going to talk about this one and see what they can do.
I'm surprised he called a timeout when he had an out-of-bounds timeout. You know what I'm saying? He could have saved that. Of course, maybe watch it. See this play again, you'll see how Fugate continues to fight.
I'd like to see how he got out of there.
Because he's grabbed at the line right there by number 28. Got him spun.
Look at that. He gets right out of it. Gets another good 5 yards.
They still won't let go.
Wow.
He's out of bounds and they won't let go.
Wow.
I was surprised he used the timeout there, I'll be very honest with you, because he had, the clock stopped. That could be big. With no field goal kicker, that could be big.
Well, don't they have one more timeout?
No, that's it. I thought he just used a timeout, didn't he?
They did, but I thought he has none.
None. Yeah.
We're showing one. That's why I was asking. We're showing one. But he has none. Okay. So here they are with 52 seconds left, 3rd and about a yard.
He's got to take 3 air shots at this end zone. He's got to do.
Ooh, just out of his reach.
And again, that was Carrera. And if he had been able to turn around and go up to get that ball, he tried to take it over his shoulder. I don't know what happened, whether the defender got a hand on it or not. But it looked like it hit him right in the hands to me, Paul.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it hit him in the air, just went off the tips of his hands there.
Well, he usually makes that catch.
Yes, he does. 4th down.
Here we go. You watch this and just watch it right at the end. I mean, nice touch.
Let's see if it
lofts it up there nice. Let's see what we can see. Yeah.
Right off the tip of his hands. He just couldn't hang on to that one.
And he is not happy about not making that catch, I'll tell you that.
Not at all. Here comes it going for the 1st down.
And
then some.
So that'll stop the clock. That'll stop the clock. They just got to get back up there.
Quickly, the Warriors get back onto the line of scrimmage. Clock at 40 seconds. They're going to have to put it up this time. And they down it. Get some time. 38 seconds left.
All right, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Right. So
right
far,
on the 10-yard
well,
line.
we got this little break here for a timeout. So far, well, it's not even a timeout. It's just an incomplete pass. We'll talk about it in a second. I'm just totally shocked. Kecoughtan, of course, we know would be able to come out of something with this, with the kicker, but they got to put it in the end zone. Delay a game or something. I don't know how this delay a game.
It's against
Prior to the
Kecoughtan.
snap, false start against the offense. 5-yard penalty
Take
remains,
it back to
second
the
down.
15.
Everybody's shooting themselves in the foot. But let me say this. Sometimes that extra
we're going on-
yardage, when you're trying to throw in the end zone, is beneficial. That's more room that the defenders have to cover.
It is, but I'm not sure it would have made a big difference in this case. Those receivers can run some good routes.
Yeah, but got less room to run it in.
Yeah, that's true.
It tightens things up. That's all I'm saying. Give a little bit more spread to your offense.
All right, let's see what
Looks like
Savage does on
looks like
this.
Phoebus is lining up to.
Oh, he's got a wide open Chris in the end zone. Wide open. How he stuck out there.
Our camera didn't pick that up.
Oh, my gosh.
But that was big. That was big.
Yeah, we're going to have to definitely see that so we
I
can
don't know
see.
if we can pick that up on a camera or not, because I couldn't see it on the TV at all. I don't know if we had another camera angle on it or not. But that was that's big.
I don't
Well,
want
I'd love to
say
see all
anything
four
yet about
angles.
what I
There we
thought
go.
I saw. But that was a touchdown for the Kecoughtan Warriors. Caught by Tyler Christ, number 3, in the
And now
on the right side of the
are they
end
going
zone.
for two
They're
again?
going
Yeah.
for 2 again, yeah. They got a stacked backfield, the old I formation. Last man Fugate gets it. He's bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying, and I don't think he got it. Nope.
Okay. Well, with 31 seconds left, Paul, we're looking at no kickers on the field except for Phoebus, and he's got a field goal. That was a big drive right there.
Yes, it was. Aided, of course, by that pass interference penalty, which gave Kecoughtan a first down deep.
Yeah, let's take a look at
the
this.
replay of this catch, and let's see where Tyler Christ came from. Look for number 3 on your screen.
There he goes.
There he goes, right by everybody, open, wide.
The inside receiver.
Now we're there.
He was
in
out.
motion.
Yeah, he was in motion and just went
He
right
was
down
in motion and snuck behind everybody.
Nobody went with him.
My gosh.
Nobody went with him.
My gosh.
What
That scoring drive took 11 plays, 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and covered 42 yards as Kecoughtan put 6 points on the scoreboard.
And just good point just brought up by Frank. Robbie Robinson's one of the best defensive corners in the not only in the district but probably in the state. And he's out tonight. I'm not saying that would have made a difference, but it's a big difference when you're back there as a coach knowing who you got back there defending.
And that's what Frank and I were talking about at the beginning of the game, the fact that Robbie wasn't going to be here, a big cog in their defense, and you just saw it as a big difference tonight as Robbie Robinson wasn't there.
Well, here we go. Phoebus has the ball with 29 seconds left, no timeouts. And I don't think they're going to try to do anything dramatic here and take a chance on turning that ball over. They got a whole half to catch this up, and Phoebus, we know, can do that quickly. So they don't have to try to make it up now and make some mistake.
But you know what? If I'm Phoebus, I don't think I'm going to make a mistake. And you know what? I'm going to take a shot.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot.
You got your helmet back on now.
Yeah, I got my helmet back on.
Go ahead, Coach.
And I just figure, hey, my defense is good. I'm going to take a shot down there.
Okay, that's why he took a knee.
They took a knee, but I would take a shot.
The shot
down
now.
There. I would take the shot down there.
Well, like I say, just throw it long. Even if they intercept it, they got to come a long way back.
Exactly. So this one's going to wind down here at Darling Stadium on October 31st, 2014. Kecoughtan with a surprising, somewhat, 12-3 lead over the Phoebus Phantoms here at Darling Stadium.
Not what I expected, my partner.
No, not at all. Not at this point, that's for sure. But it's been a good game, and it's been a quick game.
Yes,
A very, very quick game. And I've been impressed by the defenses of both teams, but I've been more impressed how each team is adjusting on the run.
Yes.
Offense and defense for both teams. And the adjustment has been really good. And the line play has been excellent for both teams.
Okay, well, let me just say this. Phoebus has been, Kecoughtan has been able to execute more of the calls that they've got at this point than Phoebus has. And that's the difference in the game. That nice call on that last touchdown. Roll out by number 3. Nobody picked him up. It was a great call.
Yeah, it
great
really
call.
was. It really was.
All right,
folks,
Bono, why don't you take it home?
hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. Don't go away. Stick around. We're going to be back right after halftime where Kecoughtan leads Phoebus by a score of 12-3 at Darling Stadium. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Darling Stadium, October 31st, 2014, where the Kecoughtan Warriors have a 12-3 lead over the Phoebus Phantoms on a beautiful football night in a game that has just been different.
It's just been different. Everything that we talked about and looked at and talked to the coaches about and went to the school, 2 high-scoring offenses, a high-octane running game, a high-octane passing game. And we got 2 Model Ts going down here right now at about 12-3. And I'm not picking on the schools. I'm just saying defense has taken over this game. And a few mistakes have helped the defensive team along the way, penalties or slips and things like that.
And not that many penalties,
No.
but they were crucial penalties.
Crucial times, exactly.
That's the thing. Wow. Let's take a look back at the first half of this game here at Darling Stadium and see how it got to be 12-3.
It's a nice little backup of highlights that they put together. Go ahead. Look at that. It's nice.
One of the first plays we saw that was pretty good was a 40-yard run by Mitchell for Kecoughtan as he got around the end, and it looked like he was going to break loose before he finally got taken down. On his next play, you're going to see Savage back to pass. He's going to find Tyler Christ open on the left-hand side. Christ makes a nice run, and he gets dragged down at about the 7-yard line, which sets up this run by Jason Fugate, who gets touched by one man and then just waltzes into the end zone for the first score of the night. And it was that quick, 3 plays, and Kecoughtan was on the board. Then Wright goes to work. He hits Addison on the left-hand side. Addison takes it down before he's finally pushed out of bounds, putting Phoebus deep into the territory. And then Robert Smith takes one out of the Wildcat, and he goes around the right side, picking up more yardage for Phoebus as they try to answer back. Wright, now back to pass, loses his footing and slips on a field that is not all that dry but not all that wet. And then he goes back and again finds Addison wide open on the right-hand side this time, putting Phoebus even closer and closer. But they couldn't get in that time. When it looked like they might get in, Wright throws a beautiful pass to Jock Moore Robinson, but broken up nicely by the Warriors, who turn right around, and a wide open Tyler Christ in the end zone, who had been in motion and snuck behind everybody, gives Kecoughtan a second score, giving them 12 points. In the meantime, prior to that, Phoebus had picked up their points, as Brent says, who would have thunk it on a field goal. 3 points for the Phantoms in this game and 12 points at this point for the Warriors.
Here come the stats put together by Mr. Anger, the lawyer. And if you want to take a look at this, pretty even. First down, 7 and 7 apiece. Rushing yards, of course, Phoebus with 60 and Kecoughtan with 92. Who would have thought that? Yeah. Passing, Kecoughtan's 4 for 8, and Phoebus is 4 for 6. That's amazing. Passing yards, 51 for Kecoughtan and 44 for Phoebus. Total yards, 143 to 104 in favor of Kecoughtan. No interceptions for either team, no fumbles. Penalties, 3 for Kecoughtan and 4 for Phoebus. But as I say that, those penalties were at crucial times for Phoebus.
Yes, they were.
2 crucial penalties against Phoebus.
And along with those stats, Frank gave us some other ones here. Fugate, 8 rushes for 32 yards and 1 touchdown. Mitchell, 7 for 51. On Phoebus' side, Becknell 10 for 34 yards and Wright 4 for 28 yards. Savage, as you saw, was 4 for 8 for a total of 51 yards. Wright 4 for 6 for a total of 44. Tyler Christ has 2 catches, 1 touchdown. Joe Addison, 3 catches and his for 44 yards. Christ for 61 yards, including that real crucial last touchdown there in the end zone.
While we're talking about Chris, when I went over and talked to the coach over at Kecoughtan, we were talking about how Heritage was able to cut off the middle against number 6 for Kecoughtan.
Carrera.
And we talked about going to need another receiver, somebody else to come out. And here we see Chris coming out here making key catches. Guy you're not thinking about until this game because nobody keyed on him, on Carrera, or it was always the attention. He's had 2 balls thrown to him tonight, I think, Carrera, and that's been pretty much it.
And 61 yards for Chris.
Right.
He's had 2 tossed to him.
And when you're standing there for Phoebus thinking about, well, what do I prepare for? Or maybe they've shut Carrera down, but Kecoughtan has taken that extra step and put that third receiver out there in position to make the plays.
All right, starting the second half, Phoebus has kicked it off to Kecoughtan, and there's a flag on the play.
I'm shocked.
Receiving team, that's a 10-yard foul from the end of the run. First down, Kecoughtan.
So that'll take them back to the, trying to figure out where they are. They're at the 28, so back to the 18. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. So they're going to take it.
Be first and 10 from the 25.
Well, I'm confused. Okay, I know where the ball started. My math, I went to Hampton, I don't know. Here we go.
Savage brings him out. He goes back to pass. He's looking deep. Got plenty of time now. He's being pressured. Tucks it under and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he had plenty of time to pass, but just could not find any receivers as Phoebus has buttoned those receivers down here to begin the first half.
Well, what we just saw was a difference in him. In the first of the season, he'd have thrown that ball out of bounds.
Yes.
And now he's looking for a place to pick up yardage. He got hit pretty hard. I know the coach is not going to be happy about him taking those licks, I can tell you that. But it brings up a second down and a little over 10, actually, because he lost a little bit of yardage on it, I think.
Looks like he got about a half yard.
Well, if you look
wait a minute. No, he's going the other way. I'm sorry. We're going this way, ain't we,
boss? This time.
We're going this way. Savage again looking to pass. He goes to the right side this time where it's caught.
One of the leading receivers for Kecoughtan.
Yep, there he is, Mr. Grandy.
I don't know how much he picked up on that.
Looked like about
picked up
5 yards.
Yeah, 6 if you count the one that he lost on the first play.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring up a third down and about 6, I guess, is what it looks like.
Phoebus needs to get the ball in their hands again here quickly, and they're playing some tight defense right now, so that could happen.
You see, Kecoughtan's only got 2 receivers out.
Savage
Hand off to
hands it off,
Fugate.
and Fugate is wide open, goes up the field to midfield before he's brought down. A huge gain for the Kecoughtan Warriors. What a surprising play.
What a big first down. Yeah, everybody looking for pass.
Yes.
And but if you looked at the way he set up, he only had one receiver out on each side.
You called that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't. I've got a phone call in 2 years. I don't know. I bought this phone and it don't even ring. I don't even put a battery.
New life
big play. That was a big
into the
play.
Warriors. Hand off again, about 4 yards.
Was that to
It
Chris?
looks like Tyler Christ again, number 3.
Well, he's getting a lot of play.
Yes,
tonight.
he is. He certainly is. Always done a pretty good job from that halfback slot, though.
Yes, he did. But and he's just getting more play tonight than we've seen.
Yes.
And it's maybe changing a little bit of things for Phoebus. Oh, there's
exactly what
5
we
yards right there.
Earlier.
That's going to make it second down and about about a half a yard, actually.
Prior to the snap, encroachment against the defense, 5 yards.
Yeah, and you just mentioned again something that we mentioned earlier in the game, the adjustments and the changes that both teams have made for this game, and it's been interesting to watch them and see how it affects the game.
What you just saw for the first time, what we used to see all the time with him, there was a change of cadence for the first time in the game, and it drew him off sides.
Fugate again gets the ball. He's going to get the first down with no problem. He'll get driven back, but his forward motion will take him into first down territory. At across the 40-yard line, they should mark it about the 39-yard line.
Well, I'm impressed with the way Coach Coley is using his running backs. You know, he'll use Fugate 3 or 4 plays, then here come Mitchell, keeping somebody fresh out there all the time. And when you got that kind of talent, you're silly not to do it.
Yes,
you know.
Exactly. You want to keep fresh feet out there.
I guarantee you, if Phoebus had another buck now, they'd be doing it too.
But usually Phoebus only needs that one back, and Becknell's been doing a great job for them so far this year.
Every now and then Phoebus will come up with a strong, big guy and a little guy, Wright and Austin, that kind of thing. But that's a rare combination.
Savage having some trouble here with the play set up, and they're going to call a timeout as there was a little bit of confusion about where people were supposed to be.
Well, they've got a good drive going. They don't want to, make a mistake with a delay of game penalty. That's that flag has flown a few times tonight.
Yes, it has.
So smart call. I don't know if it was called from the sidelines or called by the quarterback. I didn't see that. Phoebus?
Kecoughtan.
No, Kecoughtan called a timeout. Yeah. They've had a good drive. They started off with a penalty, took them back, and they've been able to overcome it with a couple of first downs so far.
Yeah, highlighted by a great run by Jason Fugate, who just went right up the middle and did a super job of clearing things out and getting it into Phoebus territory.
Like Frank pointed out earlier, when you got a big man under 280 pounds or whatever in front of you, every now and then somebody's going to get out of your way.
Yeah. And all you got to do is follow behind him and fall down when he does.
Well, we got a chance to talk about it. We need to talk about Tidewater Teen Sports, who's been supporting this this program for 30 years. And they're the one that supplies the T-shirts and helps us out in so many ways. And any chance you need anything in sports or athletic,
passing out of the I formation.
Just overlet him a little bit. Yeah, but had two defenders. He threw right into two defenders.
And there's the young man you've been talking about, Carrera. They're trying to get it to him.
They're trying to, but they've got two defenders there.
Yeah.
I mean, they have taken him out of the game. That's been their goal.
But when they take him out of the game, they're leaving somebody else
That's
open.
right.
I can tell you that.
And it's up to the quarterback to find it.
Yep.
But give Tidewater Teen Sports, Dave and Terry, a call out there, 5940411. They've just been
holding against the offense. 10 yards
of this
from the spot
program.
of the foul. Remains first down.
But that didn't help any. That took him. Anyway, it's they've been strong for this program, and we really do appreciate it. So that brings up now, it looks like about 25 yards for a first down, and it's going to be 1st and 24. Let's see if Kecoughtan can overcome this.
Back to pass, gets it to Grandin. Grandin's roughed up quickly. He's going to get back just about to the line of scrimmage.
He didn't get much out of that. Matter of fact, he might have lost a yard. I don't know. He just shook the flag over there. He didn't actually move it.
No. There it is.
Anyway, that's going to bring up a third down, isn't it?
Second down, I believe.
Is this
second down, yeah.
Okay.
Second down and a whole lot of yardage to go, I can tell you that.
You need a transfer ticket on this bus to get there.
You sure do. And Phoebus looks like they're set up for
motion.
The pass play. Fugate gets it underneath. He's got a lot of open space here. He gets across midfield, down inside the 30-yard line. He's going to be close to the first down.
He got tripped up over the his own blocker and one of the Phoebus guys. He just couldn't get over him. Let's see where he puts that ball. It is going to be a measurement. It's going to be close. Watch this play. What a great setup play, because everything went away from the play. If you watch, everything goes toward the top of the field, and then he brings it back to the short side of the field for the screen. Great play. Watch this. He's looking right, and then the short side of the field is where he brings the ball.
Watch this. Look at this.
You'll see, boom, he gets just tripped up by everybody getting together there. Looked like a church social. Somebody just take him down.
He's got a good spot.
They're going to take a measurement. It's awful close. What do you think, Coach?
My eyes aren't that good.
Well, you got a 50-50 chance.
Okay, first down.
I like it. That's what I'm saying. Take a shot. Isn't it nice to be right? Second time this year. Second time this year.
Oh, I got to go buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, you're on a roll.
My gracious.
You're 1 for 1 tonight. You're on a roll.
Jason Fugate with a catch and run gets the first
pick
down.
Pick up a 23 yards with a 23-yard play.
Wow.
I didn't know you had them figured that precise in your book. Well, we need a 23-yard play. Let's run 12X. There it is.
Now the Warriors need to sustain that momentum, and they're not going to do that when they get
Here we go
linemen
again.
moving on the wrong count.
Prior to the snap, false start against the offense.
I don't think
5
Kecoughtan,
yards,
like you
first
said
and
down on the
15.
field a couple of weeks ago, they just weren't quite enough room for him to move. So I think they need, and they did rather play 1st and 15 than 1st and 10. I think that's the intent. They need more room to operate.
They work a little better that way. Fugate has 54 yards rushing so far in this game, along with 27 yards receiving. Total of 81 yards total offense for Mr. Fugate.
Big night. Big night. I don't know what Mitchell has so far. I haven't seen much of him. Every now and then. They got trips to the side over here, Paul.
Well, they
And
sure
one up
do.
top.
Stacked up one on top of the other. And he throws to the right-hand side.
And he quit running.
Oh,
He
my
quit
gracious.
running. He let him and that was Carrera again, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Carrera stutter stepped and Savage threw the ball in front of him like he was going to keep running.
I don't understand that. I saw the same thing you did. He was there, and all of a sudden he stopped. But doesn't matter. It'll bring up.
Maybe he thought it was what we used to call an old hook, where you go down and curl up, take the ball, and some miscommunication. Let's just leave it.
Yeah. Second down and long. Ball on the 34-yard line for the Warriors. Hand it off, and they are going to get not much at all, maybe a yard or two on the run. That's going to bring up a third and very long for the Warriors.
About 13, something
Looks
like
like
that.
about 13.
Just as we were talking, of course, our statistician down there hands us what we're talking about. Carrera has been thrown to 5 times tonight with no catches.
How many catches?
None. Zero.
Man.
Nada.
And that guy's got good hands.
He's got great hands.
Routes, we've seen him before.
Yeah, the first pass was a little low. That one was in front of him. I don't know if it's the routes or the timing, but Phoebus is doing something to make it harder to catch. And of course, there goes Chris. And
critical play here. And they're looking across the right hand
That's
side.
Carrera.
Breaks loose, and there he
Yeah,
is.
that's the guy we were talking about right there.
You go to the well enough, you're finally going to bring up some water.
You're going to get a little bit of dampness on you. That's right there. But again, I want to show that pass. He took that ball low.
He took it low and took it away.
He took it and was able to. How many times have we seen him roll out of a tackle? I mean, he catches the ball right in front of the defender, and is able to, because he's got some good size. He's 6'3".
How is that going to make Nick Carrera feel that his coaches and his quarterback have enough confidence in him to keep going to him?
That's where I was going next. They know what he's capable of. They just got to get the ball in his hands. This is great. Here's something different.
Tyler Christ
is going to get a chance to kick.
Who's going to try the kicks tonight for Chase Thomas.
Let's just see how it goes.
Goes down.
It's up.
It's up and
just a little short, I believe. I think
correct.
It got tipped. I actually think it got tipped.
I think you're right on that one.
Well, while we got a second here, just let you know, Mr. Savage is 8 for 14. Now at halftime, what was he? He was 4 for 8.
4 for 8, yes.
And now here he was 8 for 14. And 111 yards, 2 TDs. Well, we got a chance to talk about it. Let's talk about one of my wife and I's favorite places. I love the Brunswick stew and the ham sandwich. I'm going to tell you right now, I love the Brunswick stew and the ham sandwich. And if we can pass up at dinner and go to lunch, we'll go get lunch right there with the Brunswick stew and the ham sandwich. You can talk about it. Give them the name. Tell them where we're going.
The name is the Grey Goose.
Awesome. Man, oh man.
If you don't like Brunswick stew,
go
people,
get
then you
the
need
pineapple
to go get
salad.
it from
If
Grey
you don't
Goose.
get the Brunswick stew, get the pineapple salad. My wife's
but I'm like you. I like Brunswick stew, and it's so
country
good.
ham. Country
It's so good.
Country ham. You know how many pounds of salt they ship in to make that country ham? Good. Comes in by the wagon.
My doctor said
Good
stop
stuff.
eating that country ham because you're going to get in trouble.
And one of my favorite things, what my partner and I have been cooking for about 30 years, is they make great barbecue. Too. I mean, just want to let you know, I've been cooking it for 30 years. The same pork I've been cooking for 30 years. We just take it out of the freezer every couple of years and took it on the grill. He keeps going back, but this is going to be something.
Oh, man, this is
he just
looks
meant
like Trey Hamlin, number 25.
He just meant all the shipyard workers getting off the bus, buddy. I'm telling you. Everybody
I'm
got
not sure what he was doing, Brent. He took the ball, ran forward, started circling
Yeah, let's
around.
take a look at this touchdown. What a great play.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is the gentleman Carrera that we've been talking about. Savage just hits him right across. Took it low.
Picked that ball up.
And swung out, was able to swing out of the tackle. 2 defenders had him sandwiched, and he just swung right out of it.
Double coverage.
I don't know, did he pull up his left leg a little bit there? I don't see at the end of that. It looked like he...
Yeah.
Because he plays defense
all right.
sometime, too.
He's all right. Just to right, gives it to Becknell. He keeps it,
Remember that
passes
play?
it off to the side.
Hello. That's number 10 again. Nice to meet you.
Flag.
Well, what?
Big flag. That one really went up.
For
That
what?
was thrown with purpose. I don't
Is he
know.
talking about celebration? It's got to be celebration because there was nothing wrong with that hit.
I thought Wright had given the ball off to Becknell, and he was hit by about 5 people simultaneously, and then all of a sudden he just pops up and
Flips
throws
the ball
it
out
out to the top of the screen to a wide open receiver, and then the receiver got hit.
They ran that play for a touchdown against Hampton, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try and find out who the receiver was because it caught us off guard. Well, I was watching Becknell.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, 15 yards.
That's ridiculous.
First down.
High school football players are not allowed to get excited.
Yeah.
You're just not allowed to do it.
And that's unsportsmanlike conduct?
Yeah, because he was all excited jumping up and down after the hit. That's unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, that's going to give Phoebus some good field position, 15 yards for them. That takes it into Kecoughtan territory at about the 45-yard line.
Kecoughtan a little bit of shifting here.
Wright's going to pass it again, and this time he's pressured by the Warriors. He flips it out to the right-hand side. It looks like number 5. That's JC. Oh, excuse me. Wrong team. That is Antonio Biggs. First time I've seen him this afternoon.
Got some different players that Phoebus is running in
Yep.
there. A lot of, I don't know how to say this, a lot of variety of players tonight for Phoebus that we haven't seen all year. And I've seen more games than just the ones we've broadcast.
Yes.
We both have. And I'm just putting it to the fact that I think he's trying to get more people involved for the playoffs. That's what I really think.
And get some people some rest.
And the way this is going, at some point you think you're going to see the regular players back in there just to get them tuned up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Second down, back to flip, and he flips it to the left-hand side, and it looks like it was
They've thrown the flag.
broken up, but it's going to be a flag. That was number 1 on the coverage for the
Warriors.
I'll give you that name here in a second. That was Caleb Tucker. Looks like they're going to get him for pass interference.
I'd like to see it, but I don't know that we had it on camera.
No,
The flip was so
holding,
quick.
Holding on the defense.
Holding against the defense prior to the pass. That's 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Well, prior to the pass, we had some holding there on defense. So that's going to put Phoebus even deeper in the Warrior territory at about the 35-yard line now, 1st and 10.
It's a big test for Kecoughtan. They put points on the board, and let's see if they can.
Another pass to a wide open Joe Addison, and all of a sudden the receivers for the Phoebus Phantoms are beginning to find their routes in between the seams and the zones and get open.
They're doing quick hitters.
Hitting.
They're doing quick hitters,
Yes.
and that's going to make a change in the whole philosophy of Kecoughtan's defense. They're going to have to pull up to stop that,
And changes what we talked about all this game, so we're going to have to see if Kecoughtan's going to make that change. Obviously, the Phoebus Phantom offense has made a change here and an adjustment, and it's working real well.
it's working. I'm going to tell you, and Addison has impressed me tonight. Not that he hasn't impressed me before. Great hands. He's just been able. Everything's thrown at him. He's been able to grab hold of.
There we go again. This time Wright pulls out again, and there's that play that he used so successfully that time against Hampton.
Yep. Well, right now, we're looking at penalties. In the first half, Kecoughtan had 3 penalties for 20 yards. Already in the third quarter, they've had 5 penalties for 50, making a big difference in this game, I'm telling you.
If you remember in the earlier games, Hampton began stopping Becknell, and all of a sudden, Wright began to pull the ball up and take it himself.
That's what changed the game.
And that's what's turning on right here as Wright is keeping it and taking it himself. That gives him the option to either toss it out on a little flip pass or to go ahead and tuck it in and run with it.
Well, that spy goes with,
been
if they're
successful.
spying Bucknell and he's going with him.
There's
There's
that
another
quick
little
pass,
flip pass.
again. This time it goes to number 5
again
for the Phantoms, and that's Antonio Biggs again as he's getting more time here. And Phoebus beginning to march down the field, eat up some time, and eat up some yardage.
And so they got the ball down what? Where are they located? I can't tell. They're on the 14?
They're on the, looks like the 12-yard line.
Yeah, 12-yard line. Okay, so it's 2nd down and 9 at the 12. they can get a first down without scoring. Yeah, last time they did this, and they got themselves in trouble with a penalty. They've got to work out those kinks. This is where they really need to score. They really need to get this across, Paul.
Well, look at this. They've got trips to the left-hand side spread out across the field. I guess you'd expect them to look that way, and they are. And they've got, he missed a wide-open man. Number 5 was in the end zone by himself.
Look over to the left up top. Yeah, number 5.
My gosh.
Big play right there. It makes up third down and 9. But he hit the man in the hands.
Wow. Wow.
Now, it looks
just
like
surprised Antonio Biggs just ran that down and over across and cut wide open. And
corner pass was there.
Oof.
I'm looking. If you look what Kecoughtan just did, though, they just brought in some linemen, not quite as big. Quickness.
Yes.
They're not anticipating the run, I don't think, and so they think they need quickness for the rush. That's just my guess because I just watched them bring in these guys.
Well, 3rd and 9, you would expect they would put it. I would put it in Wright's hand and let him have the option of running or flipping it out.
So that's what I'm talking about. Here came the quickness, and look at. Here come the quickness. That's what he put in there. Good coaching.
Called that one.
Good coaching over there. I'm telling you, because he took out the big beef boys and put in some speed to put pressure.
Well, that's going to bring up
play.
4th down from about the 20-yard line.
And 4th and 15 for a first down. 4 and 20 for a touchdown.
Phoebus is going to take a timeout right here to find out what's going on. Maybe we can get in touch with Bob if he's down there, see if he's got any thoughts on this drive that Phoebus has had that's been very good up until this point, and now they've got a 4th down situation. We're going to go for it, Brett? We're going to try to put 3 more points on the board with a field goal?
Haven't I seen their field goal to that kicker that much. This is going to be a 37-yard field goal attempt. Is what it's going to be if he goes from here.
That's pretty long.
Well, I'm just saying
for high school.
It's the chase distance, both chases from Chase Thomas or Chase from Guthrie. But Lomax can kick it. This young man, I don't and Phoebus might have a young man that can do the same thing. I don't know. They just don't have to kick him that much. They usually score touchdowns. They just don't have to kick field goals that often, so we don't know.
I will put my helmet on again.
Go ahead.
It's usually on sideways. Put it
You're looking through the ear hole anyway, so tell us about it.
I'm going to say put it in Wright's hands.
Well, yeah.
Let him roll out, make a decision on whether he wants to throw it or whether he can go ahead on down there.
Running, it's going to be hard for him to pick up 15 yards running.
I think
passing.
But if they get enough receivers out, and look, he's got trips to the left-hand side.
And you remember the play you called a minute ago where 5 was wide open in the corner.
Exactly.
So let's just see how Kecoughtan responds to this.
Kecoughtan's got a lot of people deep.
Here come the quick people again.
He's going over to the single side and is caught. It's caught. A great catch by number 22 for the Phantoms, and that's Elijah Nelson. Oh my gosh, what a great catch that was. He was falling down.
I couldn't see it.
And I hope we've got a replay of that we'll be able to see, because that was the catch of the night. That was an ESPN catch right there. And here it comes. Watch this in the right-hand corner of your screen, bottom. Watch Elijah. Look at this. He lays out with coverage right on him. Boom. What a great catch for the first down.
Officials right there looking at it. What a great play.
Right there looking at it. Huge play. Huge play. And Wright takes it himself, and that's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown for the Phantoms. And finally, they're on the board the way they should be.
Now, here's a question. Are they going to go for 2 or are they going to go for 1? 1 still keeps them 8 points back. At some point, they're going to have to go for 2 if they score another touchdown.
You know what?
I'd say kick the 1 now. I say kick the 1 now.
I'd say go for it.
Well, if you miss it now, you can't make it on the next touchdown. You see what I'm saying? Get the 10 now. Then if you score again, you decide to go for 2.
Looks like they're going to go for 1.
You got to get this first one before the other 2.
I know. I just like to gamble.
There you go.
Just like to gamble.
That play, that touchdown series was 3 minutes and 12 seconds, 76 yards and 10 plays.
And
the kick is up.
And good.
And it's good. Now they score again. They take the option of 2. And again, I'm going to bring up the fact that Kecoughtan does not have a field goal kicker.
Right.
And that 3 points anywhere from this last quarter would be big.
could be huge factors as we go along here.
Yes, huge factor.
A great catch, a super catch by Elijah Nelson, giving the Phantoms a first down on 4th and long on a great catch right at the goal line. And then Wright takes it in himself for the touchdown.
Let's take a look at this catch. They got great camera work on that catch. Show it to him again.
I just love it. I'm sorry, it's a great pass by Wright. But look at this catch. And he's covered. Oh.
Well, the quarterback, Wright, that just impressed me that much. Well, he put it on the outside shoulder so the defender couldn't get to it. If my man don't catch it, nobody catches it.
Oh, man.
Great play. Great play. And by the way, looking at that field goal, that extra point right there, I think their kicker can kick a 25 or 30-yard field goal. He just hit that at a pretty good clip.
We have a new game, ladies and gentlemen, with 4:06 left in the third quarter. It's Kecoughtan 18 and Phoebus 10. And Phoebus will kick off to Kecoughtan now. A short kick.
Say chip shot.
And what are they doing?
It was a live ball.
What are they doing? Oh, my gosh.
What was the Kecoughtan player doing?
He let the ball go, and we got to find out what's going on.
That's a touchdown.
They scored a touchdown. And the referees haven't said anything yet.
Phoebus recovered the kick. By rule, they may not advance it. It is Phoebus's ball.
I thought so.
First down.
And you got to ask
I'm
what
excited about
what the
football
Kecoughtan
and
receiver
NFL.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Where was he thinking?
Well, that's better than an onside kick, wasn't it?
Let's see this again. That's unbelievable.
Talk about
He's just standing there, and that's Fugate.
Is that Fugate?
That's Fugate.
He should know better. I think he thought it was going to go out of bounds.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'll tell you what, 1st and 10 now for Phoebus again on the 19-yard line of the Warriors. And talk about Mr. Momentum changing. We're going to have to talk to Bob about that one. Wow. That was simply amazing.
It's going to be a penalty, I think, breaking the huddle.
Timeout, referees. They had a football in the end zone.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Can only use one football, so we have
It's
everybody
only
going
fair.
the same way.
No deception. It's only fair.
So, folks, you just saw what right now may shape up to be the play of the game. Oh,
I'm telling you what,
goodness.
it's unbelievable.
Right back to pass, and a wide open receiver, and that's number
Addison.
8. Was that Addison again?
Addison again. They're not picking him up on the short passes. I'm telling you, they're standing there waiting for him to come to him.
Addison is catching everything they're throwing his way. I've got to find out how many catches and yards he has because
Roughing the
just
passer
well
against the defense.
Oh, my, that's just what Kecoughtan needed, another penalty.
Well, I said earlier, momentum has changed. Momentum has found a seat.
No, well, I'm telling you, it's this flip on this game. It just they had Phoebus at 4th down and 15 for a first.
Roughing the passer against the defense. That penalty is tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
Addison has 6 catches for 52 yards. I would have thought he had a whole lot more than that. He just seems to be catching everything out there. But that's a lot of catches, 6 catches in a game like this from a team that normally runs the ball all day long.
I'm going to tell you what, here's what I'm seeing. You look out there at that field at the Kecoughtan players. Heads are almost hanging.
Yes.
It's like, what's happened here?
And look at Phoebus.
Yeah, they're pumped.
Up.
They're doing jumping
are
jacks
really
out in the middle of the field.
They are big time up. Now they've got basically 1st and goal.
Kecoughtan has got to respond.
Look at that I formation there in there. That's, wow. 3rd man back. That's Becknell. Look at him. Right into the end zone. Touchdown, and this game has turned.
Now, here comes a 2-point conversion. From same distance out almost that they just scored that touchdown on. They scored it from 3 yards out, and they got 2.5 yards to pick up a 2-point play. Big play right here.
4-yard touchdown run makes the score 18-16 with 3:30 still left in the third quarter.
There you go.
Whoa. Well, that didn't take too long at all. 2 plays, 20 yards, 36 seconds. And most of the 36 seconds was the time in the huddle.
You didn't even have to set your Timex for that one, did you, Frank? Yes, sir. You still got both hands on his Timex working.
Goodness. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Well, here's
if
what we
you
talked
thought
about.
you weren't seeing a game, you are now. And here comes that stacked eye backfield again for the two-point conversion. And again, it's the same play. And there's Becknell. And this time he can't get loose.
That could be big. We'll see. Justin Wright is 9 for 12 now for 100 yards. He started dinking those passes, those little short passes. Realized what Kecoughtan was doing was laying back. And, I mean,
just take
it's
advantage
beautiful.
of them.
Reminds me of the pros when you see them hitting those little 6
Take
or 8
what
yard.
they give you.
Yeah.
Take what they give
Absolutely great adjustment by.
you. You know, I'm surprised that two-point conversion didn't make it. I like the idea of running the same play for the TD.
If we show that
Here it is
2-point
here.
again, you'll see where he just went straight in for the touchdown. But now when you watch this extra point, he was spending too much time reading, looking, and allowed the guys to come up and get him. Watch it. Well, I don't know if they got the 2-point on replay or not.
Wow.
But he really kind of hung back looking for an opening, and it didn't develop like it did on the touchdown.
I want to look at what you just talked about a few minutes ago. Bob's down there on the sideline. I'm sure that he has seen this. Kecoughtan looks like they have just had the wind blown out of them. And Phoebus looks like the game has started. They're pumped up and ready to win the World Series.
Period.
Bob, are you seeing that down there?
All right, let me tell you what happened on that touchdown run. He saw a seam and he took it. When he tried that 2-point conversion, there was no seam there. That's why he had to go outside, and the defense pursuit got a hold of him. But the momentum has changed, and you can see it on the sideline here at the Phoebus Phantoms.
Would you onside kick now, Bob, or is there too much time left in the game?
Well, why? They just kicked it and picked it up last time.
We're still in the third quarter. You don't want to onside kick now.
Well,
And Phoebus almost getting another break there as the
Fugate
ball was fumbled by the receiver, Fugate.
well, right now,
Man,
that could have been humongous because the ball went right through his hands, bounced back up, and he was able to pick it up. But then when he got tackled, the ball came out of his hands.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Snakebite is on the
tell you.
Kecoughtan Warrior side
Holy
of the
cow.
field right at
Well,
this time.
Let's talk. Right now is where Kecoughtan's got to show their mettle.
Yes.
This is where they got to step up. A couple of first downs going to get it back for them, but they've got to make that next step.
They've got to have a sustained drive that takes it deep into Phoebus territory.
Correct.
And technically, they're going to have to score, really.
They need to.
He keeps it himself, Savage does. Gets a seam and a corner edge.
No, that's going to be a penalty.
40.
If that ain't that's got to be a flag. That's got to be a flag. And he didn't throw one? That's unbelievable. Man was 3 steps out of bounds and never threw a flag.
I didn't see that. I got blocked off by the
Well,
screen
if they show
here.
it again, he's out of bounds, and then he takes him and slings him at the bench.
But it looks like it's going to be a first down for the Warriors. Yes, it is a first down for the Warriors.
Great run.
Excellent run by Savage.
And great deception. He had me fooled. I was still watching the line.
Savage underneath center.
There's Mitchell.
Gives it off to Mitchell, who comes out of hiding, and he'll pick up a couple of yards before he's stopped at about the 43-yard line. So the Warriors trying to hammer right back at the Phantoms.
That brings up a second down and 8, I think. And,
Oh, yeah.
like we said, Kecoughtan needs to show some grit. They need to respond right here and take some of this momentum back. At least take a little bit of wind out of the Phoebus sails. You know, make them realize they got to play defense still.
And it's hard to take any wind out of Phoebus' sail when
Right
they get
now.
going. They are a tough team when they get going. A play that I'm not sure.
Well, he looked to the right,
He
and there
did.
was absolutely nobody over there. Nobody. I was watching before the ball was hiked. There was not a receiver, nobody on that side of the field.
I think that was a busted play myself. And that's what I'm going to call it. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
3rd and about 6.
You can see that the Phantoms are pumped up and they're ready to go.
Let me tell you what, this is, well, I mean, the whole side of Phoebus looks like they're doing jumping jacks over here. I tell you what, I feel like I'm in the Army again. We can't do this.
Critical 3rd down for the Warriors as they go out of the shotgun. Savage looking for a receiver, can't find one, gets chased out of the pocket, and he's running toward the sideline. Finds a receiver and can't hit him. as it goes incomplete. Looked like that one was intended for Nick Carrera. And that's going to bring up
fourth down.
So the tough Phantom defense holding steady right here, keeping the Warriors from getting any momentum.
And here we got a substitute punter in the game, and we're just going to see how this all plays out.
Back for Phoebus is number 22,
Chris.
Elijah Nelson.
This for Kecoughtan kicking the ball.
Tyler Christ with a high snap, gets the punt off, and a pretty good
nice
punt. But it angles toward the sideline. It'll go out at about the 25.
Nice kick, nice hang time on that. Got to tell you, no return. It was a nice punt. High school, my gosh. I mean, he cooked it away from the return man and put it right down on the sideline at the 25-yard line. Now we'll see. Phoebus has been moving the ball.
Yes, they
Let's
have.
see if Kecoughtan respond defensively, because I tell you, I'm impressed with what Wright's been doing with the little chink pass, dump off, whatever you want to call it.
And I've been impressed with him running the ball
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he's knowing when to pull it down. He's added some new dimensions to this.
He has that. Very, very good.
And let's just see how it goes. 1st and 10. We're on 25.
Right, keeps it. Goes to Antonio
Oh,
Biggs.
see, you got to tackle. You got to wrap it up.
Oh, ball is loose. The ball is loose, and it.
Kecoughtan's ball. Kecoughtan's ball. He's calling Kecoughtan's ball.
And the Warriors pick up that fumble.
Well, I have to tell you, though, the defender wanted the receiver. I mean, he threw everything he had at him with his arms. He just missed him. If he'd have hit him, we'd still be hurting up here. I'll tell you what, man.
Oh, now this could be a change a little bit in the momentum here.
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
Wow.
Now watch it.
Fooled their cameraman.
Boom,
Look at
just
that.
went by and
Boom.
missed.
And then Biggs gets hit right here, and they go
Ball
for the
is
ball.
free.
And the ball's out, and Kecoughtan does
It's
pick it up
number 8 for
cleanly.
Kecoughtan. That's Jay for Kecoughtan. Who is that? Number 8. What happened?
I think there was a little befuddlement in the backfield there. Chris got it. Chris got that one, but it looked like the play kind of was slow developing, and then there was a missed handoff there to Chris.
Well, we got
He lost a couple of yards.
We should send it down to Bob, see what he's got down there.
Yeah, I've been ready down here, fellas.
All right, go ahead.
On that last play after that guy got hit, I think he was a little surprised that he made it that far, lost the ball. Number 8, Bennett jumped on it, but what a great hit. But you got to wrap it up after you hit the guy.
Now, that's something that I wish that coaches would teach a lot more of.
Oh, there's a great one right there. I think it was by
Gotta
Mitchell.
wrap up. Yeah, that was Victor Mitchell again. A good run there. Picks up some great yardage.
It's going to make it 4th down, I think, or 3rd down.
3rd down.
3rd down, it's going to be about 5, maybe 4.
Yeah. It's going to be a long 4, a long 3.
Be a long 3, good 4.
Here's that play. Nice run, nice cut.
Mitchell. All right, here we go. 3rd down.
He gets it, he busts up the middle, and
He's got a first down. He's got a first down.
Has he got it? He's got
a first down. This could be a big drive after that turnover. They need, it's what we were talking about before they punted.
Yes.
And then they get this break, and we'll see how much it's taken out of Phoebus on this play. We're down to the end of the 3rd quarter, and the ball goes down the other end where I can't see it. I'm going to move this whole organization down to the other end of the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Now you know how Frank is when he's sitting over here and leaning up.
Yeah, well, Frank got a big head. He can see down there. I can't see down there.
Well, there's the end of the 3rd quarter here at Darling Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. October the 31st, 2014. Phoebus making a comeback in this quarter. The score now Kecoughtan 18 and Phoebus 16. It's a 2-point game. And Kecoughtan with the ball, making a move there on the drive.
Well, we got a chance. We've talked about Kecoughtan does have 2 runners out there. Of course, Fugate for Kecoughtan has 12 carries for 61 yards, and Mitchell for Kecoughtan has 9 carries for 62 yards.
That's an awful quiet 9 for 62 for Mitchell.
It is.
Man,
I mean,
I tell you. Wow.
That's why we got a chance, Bob. What do you got down there?
Well, I'm watching all these guys go to the other end of the field, and I'm going to have to go all the way down to the end of the field also. You were talking about you can't see. You get in that one corner, you can't see down at that end of the field. But right now, Kecoughtan is back in control of this game, and that's where they want to be. All they need to do is just drive that ball down the field, just keep going, just doing what they've been doing. They're going to be okay.
Bob talking about not seeing. You can't see because you're blocked off by this. Bob just can't see.
Yeah.
Nice pass to the 5-yard line by Savage.
Is complete over the
And that's
middle.
number 10. Get your name here. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Elijah White.
Yeah, we called it. He's the one that had those big hits earlier in the
Elijah
game.
White wide open across the middle there, and a quick pass by Savage, and that puts Kecoughtan now in the red zone. They've got first and goal from about the 7 or 8 yard line. Savage back to pass again. He's looking, can't find anybody. He's being pressured now. He's going to have to scramble. He better throw it away. And he throws it out of bounds.
He's definitely out of the pocket.
Yeah. Looks like we got a flag.
For what?
Yeah, he had a receiver right there where he threw it. Yeah. I think they're going to call intentional grounding.
You got to be kidding me. He was out of the pocket. He was beyond the lines.
Intentional grounding
That's
against the offense.
That's terrible.
It's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down. Yes.
I guess, unless I'm misinterpreting the rule, there was a receiver there. He was out of the pocket.
They're calling
The
him for
ball
throwing
was
it
out of bounds. Bob, tell us about that one.
Hey,
What are we
guys,
missing?
you're watching college and pros. There's no such thing as out of the pocket and throwing the ball away in high school.
But he had a receiver, Bob.
Yeah, he's got to throw the ball to the receiver in the area he's going to be not out of bounds. And that's what he's calling, that he threw it intentionally out of bounds.
Well, they ought to change the rules.
Well, other things have happened.
Well, you
That's
mean
true.
you can't throw it to the receiver and he happens to be out of bounds?
No, that's not what I said, Brent.
That's what just happened.
No. You got to be down in the field and see the angle of the ball when he threw it. He didn't throw it in the playing field. He threw it out of bounds.
I know.
Oh, intentional grounding, and that's going to push the Warriors back.
Well, I'll just say right now, in the second half for Kecoughtan, they've had 7 penalties called for 59 yards.
And it's hurting them.
And it's hurting.
them
Yes,
right
it
now.
is.
It's hurting them right now.
And that's from my senior statistician, Mr. Frankie.
Yeah. And I've got to admit that I'm always looking at college and NFL rules above high school rules, and that's just
Well, I just can't
the way
figure
my
why you
mind
would change
thinks
that
all
rule.
the time.
Who are you protecting with that call?
Nobody. Savage back to throw once again. Looks right. Can't find anybody. Tucks it under. Takes it down to about the 31-yard line.
The only thing they need up now is time because it's 2nd and 30. Or 3rd and 30 now.
Oh, yeah. 3rd and a lot.
Yep.
Basically, you say 3rd and goal.
I'm just trying to figure. They had it down to the 7. Correct?
Was it the 7 or was
I
it
think
down inside?
I thought it was
I
about.
think it was about the 7. Somewhere.
And now it's 30. That was a big penalty.
Yeah, it was.
So I
A
guess
huge penalty.
from the spot, I don't know. I'm confused on that one.
Well, let's see what the Warriors can do. And there goes the flag. Looks like too much time.
Dead ball. Delay a game against the offense. 5 yards remains 3rd
They've
down.
got the quickest clock.
And another penalty that's either
8
8 or
penalties.
9
That's
now
8 penalties for 64 yards
for the Warriors.
in the second half.
Wow.
Please turn that microphone on.
That is very destructive to their offense.
Yeah.
And very productive for the Phoebus defense.
I don't know if they've lost focus or what. I mean, I wonder what would happen had he threw the ball in the ground at somebody's feet. Would that
Phoebus's
be intentional
defense has
ground?
got them rattled, I think, right now. That's my guess.
Well, they got 2 people on the same line over on the left. If they both go downfield, it's trouble. Yep.
Savage throws underneath, gets a receiver at about the 24, who goes backward to the 26.
And that was number 10 again, White. He's played a heck of a game tonight.
He is that.
Kecoughtan is
popped
definitely
up at the right time,
Fourth
that's
down.
for sure.
Kecoughtan has definitely involved more receivers tonight than they have in any other game. Between Chris and White, and they added to
Carrera,
and Griffin. Grandy, yeah. It's 4th down, and the ball's at the 25.
About the only one we haven't seen is Chris Burwell. All right, 4th down for the Warriors, and they pretty much got to go way down there.
And they can put the pressure on or play back to stop the ball. Because they got to go to the, they got to get a touchdown to do anything, right? Because it is
25 yards. They've got to go, according to that, if it's
25
yards,
goal.
they've got to go down to the goal line.
Yeah, 25
and goal.
First down. Can't get a first down, can you? Have they got a flag down there? No.
No.
Go ahead, Bob. What you got down there?
Hey, listen, the reason they called timeout, Phoebus didn't have but 10 players on the field. He sent 2 in and 3 come out. You got to play with 11 if you're going to stop this Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, I'm glad he didn't send 4 in.
Well, if he sent 4 in, then we would have been in trouble.
Would have had a basketball game.
Yeah, they got to score. They're going to go for it on 4th down because you can't kick the ball. There's nowhere to go with it.
No. But I'll tell you what, the way the Phoebus is playing defense right now, they only needed 10 men to play.
Well, they're getting a lot of penalties that help them.
Yeah,
well,
penalties are really.
They're forcing those penalties too, I think. So here it comes. We've still got almost 10 minutes to go here in the game. Big play for the Phantoms. Big play for the Warriors.
And the official's taking his time getting out of the way. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready.
You know it's going to be some sort of a pass. We've got trips to the left. Savage is back. Pressure on him. Throws underneath to Christ. Christ bounces and gets down. Looks like he gets inside the 5-yard line.
He turns the ball over.
In there.
Turns the ball. It'll be 1st down for Phoebus at the 5, if that's where he went out.
About the 3, maybe. Depends on where they mark him out. He was tiptoeing around there somewhere. I think they're going to go about the 4, 3, 4. 3, 4, 3, 4. In any case, the Phantom defense holds, and they get the ball.
Penalties have played havoc on both teams at some point tonight.
Yes,
scoring.
they have. Yes, they have. No question about that at all. But right now, 9 minutes and 43 seconds left. Grandy only has 2 catches tonight.
For 7 yards.
7 yards.
He's one of the leading receivers in the district. Yep. So Phoebus has done their job. They've taken away Carrera and Grandy. And that's why we're seeing Chris and White.
Becknell gets the ball out of the backfield, and he'll give Phoebus a little bit of breathing room as he gets down to about the 9-yard line.
That's a pickup of 4, I think.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. We had one drive this year in the Hampton game. I think it was 99 yards and 8 inches.
I remember that one.
So
I think Frank got his ruler out and measured
no
that
matter
one
what
for us
happens
down
here,
there.
this drive cannot equal that drive.
It can't.
You come up 95 yards.
But that Phantom running game is really beginning to take place. So watch right. He gives it to Becknell again. Becknell over the right side.
Becknell right now has 13 carries, and he picked up a couple more yards for 44 yards. And that's way under. Now, just to tell you, when he played Heritage, he had only 61 yards when he played Heritage in that game. It was his lowest production. Right now, he's underneath that. So that tells you what kind of defense or what game change plan Phoebus put together. Because they've run a lot more people in there than just Becknell like they usually do.
They sure have. 3rd down and
5 yards to go.
Medium, I guess.
Big play. Talk clicking.
Talk clicking.
Talk clicking.
Talk clicking.
I was going to say
back to pass is right. He's got a wide open Joe Addison, and a flag goes down, and it looks like we're going to have pass interference.
I'm telling you what, they've been saved by a lot of things. I got to see it again.
Addison was hit by 2 defenders.
Got to come and look at this. Yes, we want to see it. Of course we want to see it.
Pass interference against the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, resulting in a first down.
And over the back, and his left arm was hooked around him. So a little shady
didn't have a
there,
real clear picture.
but I can see where they could call that. Now that'll give them a first down with some big breathing yardage.
It's a big play, big penalty.
Becknell will get it again, and they're going to stuff him, and he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Another big penalty against the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Yeah.
The penalties have played into this game for them tremendously tonight,
Flags have
especially in
definitely
the second half.
The flags have definitely shifted in the second half.
Yes, they have.
Bob, what you got down there, buddy?
Well, listen, I don't know if you noticed who made that last tackle. That was Carrera. Nobody touched him coming from that defensive end position. He's not caught many passes, but the one he did caught was really good. But he's playing a heck of a game on defense.
Oh, my goodness, the ball. Oh,
if he'd have kept looking, that they'd have had the fumble too. Chris made the contact and turned away from the play, or they'd have had that fumble recovery.
Oh, my goodness. Wright goes back to pass. He is pressured, and he is simply nailed by the Warriors.
Somebody's trying to get his bell's been rung. Look at it. They're talking to him, buddy.
Watch this. Oh, my goodness. I hope he's
Watch
okay.
the end of the play. Now, he turns.
Look at this.
Boom.
Boom, boom.
Now, the ball's on the ground, and it's not looking at it.
That was an opportunity for the Warriors there to pick up that ball.
Kecoughtan has 9 penalties in the second half for 79 yards and still leading this game by 2 points.
Now they're looking at third and long after that big loss.
Just play somebody way back.
Right from out of the end zone, and he stumbles, almost falls.
He's down. That's a touchback. He's down.
Yeah, that's a safety.
Yes, sir. Big play.
Intentional grounding in the end zone. Result of the play is a safety.
Well, I thought he was
we've
hurt
seen
after
it
the
all
last
tonight.
play. I thought he was hurt after the last
I
play.
thought he was hurt earlier than that tonight when we saw him limping over there.
But in that last play, one of the players was talking to him when he got hit, trying to.
He got hit real hard. Like
Yeah,
I
he
said,
did.
I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay.
Here we go. Take a look at this again. Kecoughtan definitely has applied the pressure.
Watch this. He slipped.
So he stumbled again.
He stumbles there. Is tripped up. Wow. I hope he's okay. Look.
And I wonder if that's going to be a penalty on the kickoff. Kecoughtan in the first half was 3 for 5. No, we already did that one, I think.
Yeah.
We've already done that one.
I don't like seeing that.
No, that scares me right there. Fair coming into playoffs, and I mean, he's a key cog in that Phoebus machine. He's had a tremendous year, and I just hope that if it's anything, it's just maybe cramps or just a slight injury. We don't need to see any, major injuries to major players.
No, we sure don't. Especially with a nice young kid like him. He's a great
Yeah.
guy. Oh, man.
Well, this can prove to be very interesting with 6:26 left. Now that takes it out of a field goal situation for Kecoughtan.
It sure
Phoebus
does.
has to score a touchdown to take this game. They can't tie it with anything else.
So we've seen the tide turn several times here tonight, and we just saw it again on 2 plays, basically. A big sack on Wright, which put it back deep in his own end zone.
Is that a smile or a frown? What you got down there, Coach?
It's one of those weird nights. And now with a 2-point safety, 20-16 Warriors, and they'll get to receive this kick, and the ball gets by Fugate, and he can't pick it up. He finally does. And he'll take it to the left-hand side, and he breaks clear on the end. And he's loose. Fugate is going to go to the end zone. And folks, I'll tell you what, if we haven't seen it tonight on Halloween, it doesn't exist. Everything has happened tonight. and Jason Fugate mishandled the kick, picked it up, dropped it again, picked it up, searched for somewhere to go, hit the crease, boom.
77 yards
Wow.
for the touchdown. 77 yards for the touchdown. Go ahead, Bob. I got to have something down there now.
Hey, listen, how many times have you seen a kick returner fumble the ball or drop the ball, pick it up, and everybody overruns him, and he scores?
But tonight-
Exactly what happened.
Well, you're right. Tonight I saw it happen about 5 times in 2 plays.
Well, you know this is Halloween, right, guys?
That's
Yes,
what
it
we
is.
were just talking about. It's so
But you're
amazing what happened.
You're absolutely right.
Gosh.
See if we can run that one more time, Coach, if we got a chance. Here
Oh,
we go.
my
Look at
gosh.
this.
Look at this. He picks it up at about the
21.
21. He goes left, has nowhere to
79
go.
yards.
Slips one
Again.
there, slips one there. Now, here's where he hits the crease, and he goes, oh, my gosh, I can get by here. And
There's
then all he's
nothing-
got to do is outrun.
There's nothing blue left, and he slows down when he gets down here.
Oh,
I think the coach is going to
Lord.
have a discussion with him about that.
A big turnaround here. 8 points so far. That scoring drive, one play, 16 seconds, 79 yards, and I think 8 of those seconds was just trying to get a handle on the ball.
Well, you talking about mother momentum.
Oh, my
Just
gosh.
get switched on the touchback. I mean the safety, and then take the kickoff on the safety and take it back 79 yards.
Kecoughtan was trying for the extra point, and it's no good as it was blocked. And I was just getting ready to tout how great this Phoebus defense was getting to be because how they held, and then
Big
boom,
play,
momentum
big.
takes that away.
I mean, you look, Kecoughtan got a couple of key penalties against him that kept the drive going for Phoebus, and then that one sack that really put the pressure on them back at the 3-yard line. That was the turning point of that whole series right there that we watched for 5 minutes of momentum. That sack, and then the
Big.
safety just.
Big one.
Bob, you got something else down there for us?
Hey, listen, how big was that penalty in the first half that took Phoebus out of the field goal range? 10 points is what they trail by. Had they kicked that field goal when they had a chance, they still had a chance to only one score. Now they got to
Right.
score twice.
Yes.
And they only got 6 minutes and 10 seconds to do it.
Amen to that.
And that's where we are, folks. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game here at Darling Stadium on Halloween, October 31st. And we've had some weird Halloween stuff happen
It's
tonight.
going to be tough to do players of the game tonight. There's been so
It's,
many interesting situations. But let me say again, those players of the game selections are made possible by Tidewater Team Sports, located on Oyster Point in Newport News, 5940411. It's a fumble
loose
on
ball.
it. It's a loose ball.
A
Everybody
loose
going
ball.
for it again.
And
Phoebus
Phoebus
retains
retains it.
But let me say, give those people a call, Terry and Dave a call out there if you need anything in the way of athletic gear for your basketball team and rec, or anything you need, Pee-wee football, they got it all. They do embroidery, and they're just great people and fun to talk to.
Do they do ballet?
They do ballet. They have 1, 2, 2
Cheerleading?
left. Yeah, it's a 2.5. That's what it is because they're
Cheerleading?
bigger people.
Cheerleading?
They do cheerleading. Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Volleyball?
They have them come by.
They do everything.
They do everything, and
I've
they
been there. They do some. They do.
They do.
good
They
work.
do swimming,
very
and have
good
you
work.
seen how long it takes to make those trunks? That's tough, right there. Yes, sir.
So Phoebus trying to get back on track.
They put pockets in boys' swimming trunks. That just tells you how good they are.
And
Right.
no, I don't think that's right. We've got a new quarterback in there.
Number
Looks
4.
like number 4, Jonathan Kraft. Number 4, Jonathan Kraft, the new quarterback.
Well, as we're counting down here, let me say, I'm not saying this game's over. Let me say this. I hope, for Phoebus' sake and for the Peninsula District's sake and for football's sake, that Mr. Wright is just banged up a little bit. I hope he's not hurt.
There he is by Coach Blunt right there, number 19 with his helmet on. He looks to be okay. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, at this point of the game, I mean, I don't know if he's made the decision not to get him hurt. They know they got playoffs coming up, and I think that's what they would. Oh, look at here.
Kraft, Kraft hit as he tries to throw. It looks like
Number
we've got
13.
a flag on the play.
If he calls, I was over here on the end.
Well, there's one here, there's one on the other side of the field. On both sides of the field.
So
Frank
chief
says double
statistician
illegal
said 2
procedure.
flags, double illegal procedure. They're going to give him 7.5-yard penalty. He gave 5 for the first one and a half for the second one. People don't pay any attention to that. That's not true.
6 men on the line for the offense. That penalty is declined. Brings up a 3rd down.
3rd down with Jonathan Kraft still in there. No, Jonathan Kraft is out of there now, and it looks
And
like
Mr.
number
Wright's
19, Mr. Wright, is back, so hopefully he's feeling better. It's good to see that. Nice young man. He drops back. He's going to try and pass again. A little flare out to the right-hand side.
Take
to
it down.
25, and that is Trey Hamlin, and he is dropped quickly for a
By
loss.
Caleb Tucker took him down.
That'll put it back on about the 35-yard line and bring up 4th down and a lot.
Paul, just when we thought Phoebus had turned this thing around in the second half, on the last 3-4 minutes, I mean, it's just going backwards.
Can we put our helmets on again? I'm going to go for it. I mean, there's 15 yards, 16 yards to go. I'm going to go
I mean,
for
you're
it.
down 10, and you got 5 minutes to go in the game. You haven't got much choice.
There you see the replay there for the loss of this last play.
Don't get it.
Wright's got trips to the top of the screen. He's going to be looking to throw the ball. He's
And
back
they're
looking
coming.
right. And there. Oh! And almost
that was Carrera.
intercepted. That was
No, that was Fugate.
That was Fugate.
That was Fugate. Boy, he has
And
dropped
we've
a
got
few balls tonight.
flag in the backfield, face mask, and it looks like. Oh, I'm sorry. Holding against
Holding
Phoebus.
against the offense. That
Go.
penalty is declined.
Turn the
First
ball
down
over.
for Kecoughtan.
Well, we need to start talking about players of the game here, my friend. Frank, you're in on this. There's a whole lot of thinking to do here.
There's that replay, and again he slips. You see, he's had trouble with footing tonight all night long, and then he bobbled the ball and just put it up in the air, almost intercepted by Fugate. And he's disappointed there. Man, I should have got that. Should have got that. And once again, it looks like got a player being checked on out there. Is that Nick Carrera? Nick Carrera.
Hey, guys.
Yes, Bob, go ahead.
Hey, listen, Carrera had such a start on that defensive end position. The tackle blocking him reached out and grabbed him around the shoulders and got him in the neck. Maybe got a hold of the face mask. I don't know. That's who's hurt out there. But he had such a jump, the offensive man could not get out there to block him.
And that's why he grabbed him. He's trying to save him. Good observation there, Bob. Very good observation. Yeah, I like that one.
I'll go with that. And,
I like that
and
one.
the other one is a good choice, too, because you can see where we've been in there before. Of course, I have to tell you, number 3, I think, has looked pretty strong.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Hey, Frank, give us an idea where you think there.
4:20 now. Kecoughtan with the ball.
It's
Handoff
Mitchell with the
to
ball.
Mitchell. Mitchell gets tripped
Nice tackle.
out after
Nice
about a
tackle.
2-yard gain.
Nice tackle. Very rarely you see him get taken down by one player.
Very
But-
rarely
but-
do you see anybody grabbing somebody and wrapping
Tack,
them
thank
up
you.
either.
Where'd that come from?
I like to see that.
I found that when you take the feet out of it, the legs hardly move.
They
I
do.
don't know what it is.
That's true, isn't
Especially
it?
if you're standing up.
My coach told me that when I played Pee Wee football.
My coach wouldn't talk to me. It just wouldn't.
My coach didn't have a choice.
Just wouldn't talk to me. Go sit in.
Ooh, Phoebus defense met the ball runner.
They're trying to make a point.
They got it.
They're trying to make a point.
Man.
And that was Fugate.
That was Fugate, and they hit him as soon as he got the ball. Clock winding down with about 3.5 minutes to go.
Okay. Well, you watch what they're able to do here with this thing. You love the spider webs down at the bottom.
Watch our
this is
graphics
Halloween,
there,
so watch
folks.
this. This is kind of cool.
Our producer loved it. Mr. Foley.
There he goes. I tell you, we spray them things at home, boy. Yes, sir. I'd be stomping on that TV. Come on.
Savage look for the pass, gives it to Fugate. Fugate breaks a hole and goes down to the 15-yard line, where it's going to be a first down for the Warriors. A great draw play.
I just want to tell our director, had my wife seen that across the screen, I'd have had to smash the TV. Well, that was another great run by Fugate. I tell you what, we're closing in, like I say, on our players of the game. And before we go, take a look at this this stumbling run. I mean, he's just taking every yard he can get. He's boom,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards.
And his face mask hit before anything else. I mean, that's a tough kid right there.
Savage under center.
And that's to Chris.
Gives it off to Chris, and he just piles through the middle down near the 10-yard line.
Well, we're going to wait till about 2 minutes, and I think we're going to talk about our players of the game. But I think we both agree.
Yes.
Frank, you agree with the original talk right here? Yeah, I think well, who's that down? 72? That's Chris Pauling. Chris Pauling, I believe. He's cramping. Boy, I hate cramps. I'm telling you what. I get them terrible.
That's our old age.
Well, in my family, we don't call them cramps. We call them pounders. There's an 8-pounder, there's a 4-pounder. I get them that big. I ain't lying. Looks like a cannonball in the back of my legs.
Well, Bob, we've got a little break right here, and I'm telling you what, we've seen an interesting game here tonight. It's Halloween, so we've seen interesting stuff going on too. Thoughts from down on the field? Do you think the witches and goblins were out tonight?
Hey, if they weren't out tonight, it's not because it's not Halloween. This has been the weirdest game. I've never seen momentum change. I mean, it just a whip and all. Okay, we're going to go with this team now. No, we're going with this team. Well, hey, let's throw some flags out here. We're going to rain yellow for a while. This has just been a strange game all the way around. But I tell you, Kecoughtan's done good. I know you guys are picking the player of the game. I hope you thought about Chris. This young man had to step in and punt and kick, and he almost got a touchdown pass.
He did get a touchdown.
He did a great job tonight.
Yeah, he was definitely in the running. He was in the final two.
Final two, okay.
He was in the final two.
As a matter of fact, since we did it last night.
There goes Fugate bouncing around, gets loose again. He gets.
I like your thought, Brent. Yeah. I like your thought.
Paul, last night, I'm thinking we might just go with, since I got the shirts at home, can't nobody take them away from me. I wouldn't pick them up. I got the shirts. Let's do that. Let's go for Kecoughtan. Let's go Fugate and Chris.
All right.
For players of the game.
You're going to go with two?
And for Phoebus.
Yeah.
A great game.
I love that.
I think you're absolutely. Why don't you announce Phoebus? You go.
And Phoebus, we're going to go with the young man who's played his heart out tonight, along with everything else, and that's the quarterback Justin Wright. And then one of my favorites tonight, just Joe Addison's just done a super job receiving and running routes. And Kecoughtan just running the ball, and their line just pushing it forward. The clock is winding down.
While I got this chance, I don't get to sit in this seat often, and I can't believe that the director made the mistake the second time. Let me do it again this season. But I have enjoyed it very much, and thanks to you, Paul, for making it a little bit easier.
Oh, not a problem.
For Frank Edgar, I always need a lawyer around me anyway, because I usually get in trouble, and he'll have to defend anything I've said anyhow. And of course,
I got your back. Don't worry.
Of course, Bob down on the field has been trying to drag me through this for a long time and save me. But I really have enjoyed it. Thanks again, guys.
Well, it's been fun up here.
What a great game. And if I've said anything, out of the way, so what?
Oh, it's one of the most interesting games. Like Bob said, it's one of the most interesting games we've had. Everything has happened today, and just about the time I'm getting ready to say something good about a team, like you said, the momentum would change to the other side, and it would go the other way. And I'm thinking, well, the game's changing here. Phoebus is coming back, and we're going to do this. Typical Phoebus fashion, like we've seen before. Here's the comeback, and.
Well, what we saw tonight, I feel like it was 3 quarters Kecoughtan, 1 quarter Phoebus tonight. The quarters didn't match up evenly on the numbers.
Not at all.
But there was a quarter there between early third and early fourth where Phoebus was dominant. And then you had the backwards offensive movement by the Phantoms. I've never seen them go that far back. And then had the safety, and it just turned around. And then Fugate, who's had a quarter of that he probably wanted to forget,
Yeah,
picks up the
dropping
loose ball, and off he goes.
Hey.
So I think,
Well, if the lawyer quits talking, I'll get in here.
I'm going to bill you as well.
They get in the courtroom, they want to talk. But you have seen some things that it's just been unbelievable. That the
What you trying to say, Bob?
Kecoughtan runs one way, Phoebus runs the other way, and then everybody just stops.
And fumbles the ball and picks it up and goes another way.
And not only that, then the kickoff, the guy gets the ball because he's going to let it go out of bounds. Well, you got to catch it, you got to stop. But it's just like Halloween is in everybody's spirits tonight.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And speaking of the game, Kecoughtan is going to kneel for the second time. And ladies and gentlemen, with less than 15 seconds to go, that's going to be it. In somewhat of a stunner in some people's minds, and in a game that matched up to its billing before tonight, the Kecoughtan Warriors have beaten the Phoebus Phantoms by a score of 26-16, and I've got to say this, on Halloween night.
And whether the Evil Goblins had anything to do with it tonight, great job by both teams. You put on a great show. Mistakes made the difference, and some teams capitalized on it a little bit more. Enjoyed it, Paul. Why don't you take it home, buddy?
Oh, I enjoyed it too. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed it too. October the 31st, 2014 at Darling Stadium, the Kecoughtan Warriors have just defeated the Phoebus Phantoms by a score of 26-16. For my partner here, Brent Musgrove, for Frank Edgar, my regular partner and statistician tonight, for our tremendous analyst on the field, Mr. Bob Hintz, for our crew, Randy Bagoli, Susan Bowers, Wube Gourbet, Steve Fryer, Matt Buttwalter, our graphics and animation man, Krista Campbell, slow motion instant replay, Renee Camden, camera control operator, Greg Lesko, our audio man, the big man himself, Andy Foley, executive producer and director. Have a good evening, and remember, we'll be back with more sports on LSC. Come back and see us. Good evening, everybody.